honestly, it's pretty average with the entire group.
That's how I felt when I played Audit.
We're live. To be fair, well, it's also because you both, no, you both weren't giant kin. The giant barbarian instinct is the one that has a typically clumsy one.
I think what I felt it was just that I initially did have very low AC, and then I eventually sort of caught up to everyone else.
But anyway, we're live. Welcome to Riptide Season 3, Episode 5. Which means, potentially, we're getting close to halfway through the season already.
Hey.
That's
means
crazy.
We're gonna play superheroes in like a couple months.
Yes! I'm gonna make a secret villain.
Everett, you have 3 unallocated languages you have yet to add to your character sheet.
Oh my goodness.
I was wondering why the edit button was flashing at me. But yeah, so we're getting close, which means the adventure is wrapping up potentially really soon.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. It does matter, and if we need to, we will go into a 4th season. But this season's just a little bit longer than average. That's not going to be a big deal. You missed
the last
How
attack.
did you miss?
Oh, it's
well,
the
actually,
third attack. Is minus
my
10.
AC is not even that crazy. Well, my AC is a 32. It's on average. My dex is good. It's just my health is apparently like astronomically worse than everyone I'm finding
I mean, you knew that was gonna be the case when you made it.
I knew it would be bad. I didn't know it'd be this bad. I normally kind of neglect con a bit when I'm making some like characters. I gotta do that less.
Yeah, welcome to Pathfinder, where the number differences are actually very apparent.
On a positive note, because your health is so low, I just have to tap you once and you're at full health.
Yeah, it means, you know what, there's not a lot of work to do. I'm pretty easy to take care of, but I also like faint like a Victorian lady into a nice couch whenever I see a scary monster.
You know, we are in Absalom. We could get you a moving chair and just have it flavored as a couch that just follows you everywhere.
Yeah, can I have a fainting couch? You know what? I'll do my ritual. I'll animate it. I'll make it sentient. I'll have it follow me around.
You know what's funny is we could easily do that with there has to be a wheelchair somewhere in the game that can just work that way.
There are living chair familiars.
Yeah, there's a familiar that's a moving chair.
Yeah.
I will get myself a living chair for me to faint into when I get one-tapped by any scary creature.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's how we gauge William's health on the battlefield. Is he on the couch yet? Nope, he's fine.
So you know I'm under half health if I'm on the couch.
Oh no, he's dying.
Oh my god, he's entered full recline.
I'll be right back. I need to get some water. It's actually hot today.
Yeah, it's getting warm. It is it's crazy. I probably gotta go back into some of the builds I've been working on, and like, because whenever I'm like, this is a martial character, all I do instead to make up for it, I just pick the general feat for toughness and do that instead, and I usually, my con is like +2 or something. Kind of the most I do.
Well, I've invested in my con and also got toughness, so that's why my health is like bonkers.
Honestly, I think we need a buff wizard.
I one day might play a muscle wizard. But I also know that it's not super viable.
What are you talking about? You've already played a Magus.
Well, actually, yeah, that's just Magus. It's literally just Magus. If you want to play a muscle wizard, and in my experience, it wasn't as fun as I thought it'd be.
Yeah, I tried a muscle wizard in D&D once, and it was okay.
I mean, that's your problem.
Really?
Yeah, you're playing D&D.
At the beginning levels, because you run out of spells so fast that you need that muscle. But
The only reason that that character was saved for me at all was because it was the Frostwind campaign, whatever the ice one
Icewind
was.
Dale.
Yeah, that one. And at the beginning, you roll for stuff for your character, and I just happened to roll that I had a owl bear familiar
Jeez.
animal companion, and I was like, okay, and that was just super cool, and it saved the whole character.
Also, to be fair, Alex, your HP is so low also because Wizard has one of the lowest HP like rates.
Oh yeah, no,
along with
I
Wizard.
it's like a 6, right?
Yeah.
It's really low. Yeah, I'm not like bummed that my health is low. I know it's
Well-
like designed with the class. It's more like this is the first time I'm seeing it in perspective instead of just being like, damn, Rumble's got like almost triple my health. That crazy. And then I'm blindsided by wait, everybody? Whoa.
I mean, because if you
Yeah.
were playing literally any other class, you'd have 28 more HP right now.
Yeah,
Minimum.
It's okay. You have more HP than Mr. Piddles.
that's something, I guess.
He
I'm
does
just
have a
barely,
higher
though.
fortitude save than you do, though.
I'm
I'm a little-
barely
yeah.
more solid than a familiar.
I'm a little sturdier than a corgi. You know that does a wonder for self-esteem.
Hey,
Hey, it's
corgis
not
are
just any
quite thick.
corgi.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
It's a-
I'm a fucking man. I'm a full-grown man, and that's
And
a
that-
dog.
That's a
god-
soldier
that is
you're
a
talking about.
god amongst corgis, though.
That is
Any other
I've-
corgi cannot handle the shit that corgi has gone through.
I've never
still
seen
saying
Mr. Piddles
corgi.
fail a save.
That's true.
Don't say that.
It
But-
can be a god amongst corgis, but you're still using the word corgi.
Who's
Oh,
Mr. Spellcaster?
That's a good.
That
question.
was the
Well, that was
test
Cam.
character that we did at the beginning. We were making characters and then couldn't get rid of.
Ah,
That's our BBEG. We weren't supposed to mention that they were there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hell, Devin.
he's gonna
Fuck.
come back at the end.
Who's Mr. Spellcaster? Cam goes, well, now that you mention it, turns off the invisibility on the token.
it's Brambastor this whole time.
No.
I've been
Oh,
here all
shit.
along.
Actually, we might stand a pretty good chance now against Brandbuster.
We
That's the
think
end
it's
of the
Brandbasser
campaign.
the whole time, but we attack him and only to find out that he is in fact Cake.
I hope not. But
He's engineered the perfect body
I couldn't fight him.
to strike fear into the hearts of those who fear confections.
Does that mean
He-
Brandbuster would become animated food?
Strike fear into the hearts of one specific weird man. That's all it would be. Just me.
Does he have swords?
That's the other. No, he has a weird power suit, so at least he's only one of my fears.
Why not both?
It's up to Cam to decide.
Anyway, we probably should get started.
Yeah.
No.
I remember you guys have an interesting encounter today. Mostly because they're just like, we don't like this encounter. Let's reroll a few times.
We did
Until we get
mulligan
something.
until it was good.
Interesting. But yeah, your encounters are supposed to be interesting. So, a recap of last time, just for those who are not here the entire time. Last time, after you guys had finally defeated the worm cult's forces, you kind of stuck around to make sure the members of the House of Perfection were doing okay, helping them actually quite greatly with various medicines and healing magics, while William mostly sat in a bush waiting for a special doorway to open to try to sneak into a secret library.
Can you blame a guy for trying?
I will not blame you for trying. You guys did meet the Grand Master of the House of Perfection, whom, after seeing everything that you guys have been done / were doing, decided to reward you all by taking you to the House of Perfection's reliquary, where you each got to pick up some legendary items. this giving y'all a pretty significant power boost. With that, you decided to head to Absalom, where you'll be meeting the Deep Mother cult, who is another faction in this whole shenanigans around the various pearls of Lesnessa, and one who supposedly is connected to Fidget's backstory, and also seems to be on the side of Lysanessa, though despite that, we're the ones who also terribly damaged Jito Kairen by removing his arm, and severely damaged the Grand Master of the House of Perfection as well. So with that, you guys loaded your various animals and selves onto a boat and have taken off. You've had one encounter, more or less, dealing with... I don't even remember what it was that you guys actually fought. It was something. Oh, no, you didn't fight anything. That's right.
But
Yeah.
like, we didn't actually investigate it because we would have had to dive in the water and swim after it.
Yeah.
I turned a bunch
It was
of
a little
people
too
into
far.
goo.
Well, it kind of turned them it turned them into weird, slightly transparent, like flesh people in the water now to live out an eternity, actually, because they also just don't age anymore. They're
So it helped them.
screwed. No, you condemn them to a life worse than death.
Just have more will.
Well, condemn, I
know.
should say. It's not like you guys actively did so. More or less, it's just they're just screwed. That's it. There's not really much more to it. So now, after rolling a bunch of interesting dice, we have a new encounter set up. So, that being the case, let's see here. I need to roll a d6.
Ooh.
The sixth party member. I see.
Where
So-
am I?
You're
Do I exist here?
right here.
Oh, I just look like someone's benefit icon.
Yeah, you're as big as someone's buff.
I was like, yeah, this is basically just a continuation of Rumble's little arc there.
This is how I lost you in the Captain Bem Bem fight.
I think it's harder to see me now.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, so you guys are now on the the home stretch to Absalom. Only a few more days, or like another week of travel. And as you're all what are y'all doing on the ship, just randomly?
What time of day is
I
it?
think we'll probably be sitting up near the front, probably with a blanket wrapped around her and just doing her knitting.
We'll say it's like midday-ish.
I'm
Well, the
back to
blanket's
my
near her, but that's what she's doing, is she's sitting near the front.
classic chilling on the figurehead.
Probably doing that.
If anything, also just to keep an eye on Sprite, since Sprite's way at the end.
Everett's probably doing some workouts, like some push-ups and pull-ups, just to make sure he's strong. stronger than Sprite.
You're feeling threatened.
William is nearby wherever Rumble finds himself, but he's going through recollecting any notes and pages he's like pulled together, making sure everything's prepped for Absalom, and kind of, especially because they're close, he's basically getting everything fresh in his mind for immediate use when they're actually there. Information on the cult, stuff like that.
Okay.
Is there a crow's nest?
No, most ships typically
Oh.
don't have such a thing.
Sad.
Also, I could have been rolling survival this entire time for initiative.
Also, you guys don't own this ship, so even though there was one, they probably wouldn't want you up in the crow's nest.
That was gonna be my next
That's
question of, am I
rude.
allowed up there?
Sharing is caring. You don't get to keep all the fun for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just saved everyone's lives.
No, you didn't.
We tried to save those people's lives. We told
We
people that
looked.
they were dead.
We certainly looked.
We looked for them.
If
For
not for us,
5
you wouldn't have even
minutes.
known your friends were dead.
True.
I'm at the back of the ship, just looking behind us.
Okay. All right. So, as Rumble's kind of just looking about, making sure, no other watery threats come, especially after the strangeness a few nights back. William, you're kind of just looking through, organizing things, and suddenly you detect, with your innate arcane sense, a pretty powerful magic, like 10 feet behind you.
His head immediately whips around, like getting to his feet. Like as he's like standing up, his pages like spill out off of his lap, which then immediately little rifts open up, and they immediately fall back into whatever temporal pocket they're all in, like cleaning up the mess for him. But he's immediately readying himself.
Make a perception check for me.
Yeah. That is a startling thing to find. Oh damn, 39.
Nice.
Okay. You whip around to where you felt the presence from. And as you kind of spin around, you realize someone is standing next to you.
Sorry about that.
Not Rumble. Like, just almost completely out of your line of sight. Like, to your side.
Huh. Like almost like in his peripheral vision or like a blind spot.
Yeah, like they were intentionally standing in a blind spot.
And he can sense that they're like still there.
Well, you no longer detect the arcane sense. It's just you stand up, you move, and you feel the presence of a person's body like right next to you, but out of sight. When you turn, there's someone there. Do you just stare at the individual?
He's staring at them. What do they look
Okay,
like?
so you turn, and definitely within your like personal bubble.
Which then
There,
immediately like maybe takes a step back and like just like, oh Jesus.
yeah, there you go. That's kind of the reaction I was waiting
I
for.
was slightly like also confused if I could physically see them or not.
Well, no, because at first you couldn't, but you could feel that someone was like very close in your personal space. You turn to and take a step back away from the individual, and you see a you see a guy with wild, curly brown hair that looks completely unkempt. And is just kind of wearing, like... he's got, like, a shirt with a jerkin over it and, like, your standard... He looks like a guy who's been spending all day, like, at his normal job and had just got off work. Though with a very devious grin on his face. As, when you look at him, he just kind of smirks at you. And he's just like, wow, quite quick on the uptake. I thought for sure I was going to get around you.
Relatively perceptive, especially to those magical, as he's like holding his staff and he like tilts it a little bit, making it clear he's holding, a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
And you would be?
Oh, sorry. Just passed around the ship. I saw you were going through all those books and everything, and I had to come take a look. Currently, you don't detect any magical presences from this man. So whatever happened was some kind of, willed effect.
Mhm.
But he is, I think very importantly, not wearing any, like, magical gear. Or has any in his possession. Or at least none that you can detect. But
Just a fucking guy.
Just a guy. Which is very strange. Not impossible, If you really wanted to, you could just unequip all your gear and be able to conjure magic at will. But the magic you felt was definitely somewhere of, like, the 7th rank degree.
Yeah. And then I think the only other thing it would give me, it's not even in my spell list because it's just an innate thing, is I can roughly tell, well, at least what it used to be, how it used to work, is what school it would be. But I think it's easy to assume it's just some fucking teleport. That's kind of what I'm piecing together.
Maybe. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
There's no apparent magical effects on him at this time, at the very least.
Yeah.
So
Currently, it's just a fucking random man.
yeah, someone who's kind of playing a joke at your expense.
Yeah, which is not something William's a fan of.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry to interrupt your reading then. As like, he's not looking over, but all of his reading material has gone back to his pocket library.
Yeah.
But still, you find yourself on a ship that's currently in the middle of the ocean. And how exactly did you get here?
At the port. Same as you, I imagine.
Saying you've been here the whole time.
Yeah.
Which explains the large burst of magic I felt, which is the reason I turned around.
Yeah, strange that. Who knows what that could have been, he says with a smarmy grin. You just looked like a wizard, and I just figured I would test it out. And I think I'm correct.
Correct that you can cast a high level spell?
No, correct that you're a wizard. Though, I guess your assumption might be correct too. Anyway, this is a little weird. And
You're telling
being
me.
very defensive for just... Well, this is just a prank, my guy. Come on. I saw that you were
snuck up
looking into...
behind me. Of course I'm being defensive.
Well, yeah, okay, right. There's defensive, and then there's this. He motions in your general direction. Like I'm about to take your lunch money at school or something.
He's like pinching the bridge of his nose. every experience I have in traveling is some sort of creature that tries to murder me, and I meet one person that's now trying to rid me. I'm sorry if I'm a little defensive. Normally, when we get approached by some random thing with a burst of magic, it's then immediately some demonic force trying to fuck with us.
You sound like you're the only wizard in the world.
No. I assume it's commonplace for most people. Those
Well, it's-
wizards, maybe.
Definitely commonplace where we're going.
Yes, that's why we're going there.
Oh, you're gonna go meet some wizards?
I will, at least.
Ah. Some kind of cool secret wizard meeting then.
He's like almost like immediately stops pinching the bridge of his like nose. Okay, who are you? I'm not going to explain my travel itinerary. As he's like in this moment, he's thrown off guard, so he's like in this moment not carrying himself with the same like jovial manner he usually is.
And by this time, Rumble, you've obviously been alerted to what's been going on.
He's
William,
definitely looking them both over.
yeah. The guy's just like, Jack Thomas, I would offer to shake my hand, but for some reason I feel like you wouldn't take it.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Figures. What? I was just curious. I figured I'd stop by. You're out here doing something very interesting. Most the interesting things people are doing out here is just, I don't know, tending to livestock or something. You're pulling books out of portals and looking through them. That just seems kind of cool.
I appreciate the compliment. Granted, livestock in what it is, again, the middle of the ocean. I guess you mean grand scale out here instead of our exact geographical location.
Well, I mean, someone brought an elephant on the boat. That's kind of fun.
Yeah, they did do that.
But otherwise, no, everyone else is kind of boring. And I figured you might be a wizard. So I figured I would do something that would catch your attention to see if I was right.
He just sighs. Oh, you did that. Good job.
I did do that, true. Thank you. I worked hard.
What is, I guess, fine. I've been rude, I guess. William Crowley. What is your field of magic, I guess?
That's a good question. I guess you could say I'm kind of like a magic historian. I like finding really old, weird spells.
You found anything interesting? Anything you would particularly find fascinating? Or at least anything you'd show off at parties?
He thinks for a moment. Looking the guy over, he appears to be human. He doesn't seem to be that old either.
Yeah, I was gonna immediately ask also if I could try to get a fucking read on this guy.
Go ahead and make a perception. Do like an insight.
A 30.
Okay.
I'm also checking my feats to see if I have anything too.
Sure.
I'd probably do the same.
Sure. Yeah, makes sense.
I will ask. Can I detect if they're lying to me, because I do have the lie to me feed.
That just
So
means that we
this-
use your deception rather than perception DC for any
Yeah, so
lies.
that would come up if they're trying to lie to me.
Is your deception higher than your perception? And if I can look up your DC, I suppose.
My deception is a 24. My perception is a 22.
Your deception is a 22.
My deception is a 24.
Okay, so then your DC would be 34 then. Here we go. Party sheet. Oh, cool. It does have your deception just right on here as well. Okay. Alrighty.
Oh, that's cool.
Just a moment. Definitely not looking up stats right now.
Phew, thank God.
I believe you.
We'll see if you believe me here in a moment.
Yeah.
I gotta see if your insight's good enough to believe me or not. Would help if I knew my alphabet.
We have so many recall knowledge based stuff.
Okay. All right. Looking the individual over for both of y'all, he seems, very lackadaisical. I think he's very obviously bored. But there's definitely something to him that is being intentionally hidden. I mean, he doesn't seem like he's being outright deceptive in any way. When he said, he is... he is something of a magic historian. That didn't read it necessarily as a lie. But a magic historian isn't going around wearing like a worker smock. And especially not on a boat that's been traveling for like the better part of a month.
Yeah. Just where, and also, like, obviously, William hasn't seen this guy at all throughout this trip. Which is
I mean, even
where
if you
it's-
had, you probably wouldn't have noticed him.
Probably not.
He just looks
It's
like
where-
anybody,
Yeah, it's where his current feeling is that this is probably a situation where, like, this guy just teleported. That's his current theory. Because, yeah, the bit with detect magic that he would have had access to when that comes out is because it's currently, I'm a master in Arcana. 'Cause I don't think it's bumped up to legendary yet.
Well, the thing is that
Legendary.
you detected the magic. Well, I guess if we arrive there, maybe.
Yeah, I would learn the rank and the rank or level. So you told me it was a seventh
Seventh,
level. I wouldn't
right.
learn I wouldn't learn anything deeper than that, because other than that I would learn yeah, the other than that it would tell me just that there's the presence or absence. It does not tell, yeah, it doesn't tell you what type
Yeah.
of magic is anymore.
You need read aura, I think, to discern more stuff like that now.
Which I do not have.
Well, and even if you did, you wouldn't be having it active necessarily
No.
all the time.
I just got
Uh,
arcane sense, which is very nice. I like that feat a lot.
Yeah. It's a very common one for anyone who studies a bunch of arcane, which is probably what this guy was banking on. But you do know, relatively speaking, a character who's using this high level magic is probably like a level 12 or higher. So,
Yeah.
So I mean, he might be even lower level than you right now. It's very hard to say. It's not like he's
Yeah, at least
imposing at all.
No.
But he thinks about it for a moment, and he is like, I have knowledge of a very strange spell that was picked up by some country bumpkins out in I guess what's now New Thessalonia. Taught to them by Fae, no less. You want to know what it is?
What is it?
Conjure cake.
Oh no.
Useful. Useful to country people,
Well,
at least.
see, funny enough, it actually was terrible. The use of the magic, it being particularly low level, caused the small village in which it was used to degrade heavily because they no longer felt the need to farm or hunt. They could just conjure cake at will.
I see.
But
Then
you
not
probably
to take
could.
into the account that you're then eating cake. Only that's just malnutrition at that point.
Correct. Fey trickery at its best. The village was starving, having gone through a terrible winter, and the Fae said, "Why not just eat cake?" and taught them how to make cake with magic.
Fascinating.
That's what I'm into. Just that kind of stuff. He's pulled out like a silver coin now, and he's just like fiddling with it. He seems to be the type who can't sit still for long. Mostly also because I'm just sitting here playing with the quarters, so I'm like,
Fair enough.
improv acting. Here we go. So, I just figured you might know something fun like that, or maybe you want to learn something fun from me. What wizards do, after all.
He's going to, at the very least, this is also another situation where immediately William is like, I swear to fucking God, this is yet another weird magical entity I'm coming across that is clearly hiding something but won't tell me. That he's having flashbacks to the obvious green dragon.
The green dragon you guys think anyway that you traveled with for such a long time.
God damn it, just fucking talk to me. And then he's like, okay, might as well. And then I guess and he like thinks about it, using maybe like my plane of water lore, of the information I have in my library and just stealing a bunch of stuff. Do I know if there's any reconstructed or even like interesting things to this guy that I've stolen, maybe magic originating from the plane of water that I have in my library somewhere? Stuff maybe that like I found and like might not have been totally useful to me, but this guy would find interesting.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Go ahead and make for me an Arcana check. And you know what? Due to your how your character acts, I'll let you add your pocket library bonus to this.
Sure. I was just using it, so let me look how that works again. So this is going to be a +3. Hell yeah. And let me also look because I have my items that attribute to a recall knowledge. Okay, so a Sasha Books only works on a creature. Brooch of Inspiration gives me a +1 item bonus to lore skills, so that wouldn't count here. Is Arcana's not a lore skill, is it?
I mean, it depends on what you're rolling it for. I wouldn't say this is a lore check, though.
Okay. It is going to be a 35.
Okay. I'll say you know a random spell of up to your current spellcasting level. We'll say 7th level. Though that would have been at least up to 8th level, but you just don't have access to that kind of magic yet. So 7th level spell that you know, just come up with any. It can be any rank, so it can be a first rank spell or whatever. Just come up with a weird plane of water spell that you might know.
Yeah, let me check my notes real quick, actually. Actually, I might have found something a little interesting. This is a regional constructed spell. It's not anything too powerful. And like as he does this, he traces a line in space and reaches through to his extra planar and pulls out something a little recent, actually. As he pulls out some information that he got recently. This is known as a lure cleanse. As specifically, there is a city in the plane of water, known as City on Lure, and this is a city that is on the back of a giant anglerfish. Now, because it is a living being, this is a being that can actually gain parasites. This is a spell that can help essentially as like a form of a restoration spell. It's 3rd level, it will help restore and fight back and kill off these parasites. Make sure the city doesn't, die.
And it only works on the city in particular?
It's like a specific being. I assume if it was, a general spell, it would be much stronger, require a lot more power. It's designed for one particular being. And like he shows over the how it works. Like he hands over the page from his library.
He looks at it and he smiles. He's like, okay, all right. I think we can cook with this. All right. I'm interested. I want to learn this spell from you. So I will teach you a spell I know in return. How about that?
Sure. That sounds like a deal.
How are you dissuaded or perturbed by the macabre by chance?
I have an academic interest, but I'll say I don't go around killing people or doing disgusting things for fun.
But what if I had like a kind of disgusting spell you could learn?
I'd be fine.
Okay. Sure.
If it had a use and wasn't just for, I guess, personal pleasure. I'm
thanks
not
for a moment.
disgusted by things like that, though.
It definitely has a use for sure. Okay. You know what? You look like the type who doesn't have too many scruples.
He like great, like there's like a small smile and like on one hand he's still like, I still don't like this guy because he threw me off guard, and on the other hand he's like, damn, I just got soul read.
Yeah.
He
seems particularly charming and perceptive at the very least.
Honestly, it's just the method he approached William threw him off so bad that he's still a little aggro.
Yeah.
He just does not like being on the back foot at all. But other than that, he's like slowly being won over.
With that, he kind of etches into the air. He draws a line, and similar to your pocket library, he pulls out a page from it as well. And he hands you the page, not giving you any proper description for you to read over.
All right. Yeah, he reads over it.
Okay. This is a 4th rank spell called Steel Face.
Oh.
This is a more unique type of magic because unlike a lot of other disguise self type spells, it is very particular. You need to literally it has a material component of you need a face. But the spell allows you to don the face in your possession and take up the exact physical appearance of the individual in question. And in addition, this is a near perfect disguise, giving you a +4 circumstance bonus to any checks to pass yourself off as the individual in question. And due to the use of the medium, does not require a ton of magical use, making the spell imperceptible to means of checking for magic. So unlike normal disguise self, which could be triggered by someone who, is using detect magic or whatever, this spell can't be detected by such means.
He's reading this over, and there's this, he's suppressing it, but there's the part of him of, I have a feeling this is going to be useful. And he's like, I'm gonna keep this in mind. And then it's also I'm going to hope that the others don't have an issue with this.
You seen there kind of flipping through the what, I can't remember, is it a book or was it a...
It was a ripped out page. It's one of the things he stole from the fucking recent place they were at.
House of Perfection.
The House of Perfection. It's one of the things he stole.
Okay.
It was from the recent info he got from the Plane of Water from the House of Water.
Yep. So he's in there kind of twiddling with the page, kind of waiting for you to see if this is a equitable deal or not.
He looks up from it, and I like this trade. I can use this.
Oh,
it's an interesting
I'm
spell.
not saying it's a trade. I would like my spell back, but we can copy each other's notes.
A trade in information.
Sure.
I am curious where you found this, or at least who invented this, because this is, gotta say, I'm not perturbed by, obviously, the macabre, but whoever made this, however.
Well, I will be staying in Absalom for a time. I have a friend's residence I'm gonna be going to. He pats himself down. Yes, okay. He takes the page that you're writing and he just scribbles on the side an address in magical writing. I may have some more spells you might be interested in if you want to take a look at a later point, of course.
He'll take whatever what he wrote on. What was this guy's name again? Could you give me his name?
I believe Jack Thomas.
It was Jack Thomas. That's it. I knew it was a very normal name.
Yep. Very, very almost surprisingly mundane name.
And then as he's going through all this, he just kind of there's a very small sigh he gives, and then just holds out his hand to shake.
He gently grabs your pointer finger and shakes, and he's just don't want to give you any reason to think that this is some kind of bargain or deal after all. With that, he's all right, I'm gonna go copy this down and bring it back to you.
Sounds good. Yeah, not a perceived bargain or deal. Making up for rudeness. That's all this is.
Oh, I know. But I like to play other people's games. So, I feel like if we can meet some kind of similar vibe, things will work out much better between us.
You've read me correctly, then.
Ha! It's almost like I'm good at this.
Mhm.
All right, I'll be back. He wanders off with your page to copy down the spell.
And he's gonna copy down the spell as he's standing there.
Yep.
Nice to see that you made a friend.
He like sneers a little at that. I don't like the beginning of it, but I guess. He also looks over, like, talked of it like I'm a child who just attended the first day of school.
Well, more often than not, you're utilizing deceptive means when talking to other caster people. It's just nice to see you being honest with them, I suppose.
He like pauses what he's writing. I suppose you are right. This is honestly one of the first times I've spoken to a caster on their terms, actually. Granted, it threw me off immediately. Also, one of the few times I've spoken to a caster using my own face and name. Like, he keeps writing.
This is also true. Outside of, I guess maybe Fidget and Sprite.
Yeah, I guess when I say caster, I mean wizard, but yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean.
I do.
Glad it wasn't just a demon sneaking up on me. That's all I care about.
I mean, it still could be, but I didn't seem to glean anything.
I didn't detect any other force. The only part that's weird is that there's no other magical effects or any sort of magical equipment or possessions, but I figure that out in time. Some other magical shape changer, I swear.
Could just be a guy who likes the idea of spells. Maybe magical items don't pique his interest.
Could be. Alternatively, as he's like also realizing with like what he's currently holding, a spell of like face change that is a imperceptible illusion that you cannot detect with detect magic. Could also be this. As like he shows Rumble the spell he just received.
I don't know if he gleans it because he does not have Arcana.
He'll explain it of like what it does.
Yeah, that could be possible.
Anyway, a not so often used rule. Now we get to have you learn a spell.
Oh god. Oh no. One
Yeah,
second, actually. I think I have something for this.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but don't you have magical shorthand? I don't remember.
I think I do.
I'm pretty sure you mentioned it at some point.
I don't know if that was in William 1.0 though. It might not have been a thing I picked up. I might have changed it. Because that'd be a wizard class feat, right?
No, I think it's an Arcana one. Skill feat.
Okay, let's look. Yeah, no, I don't have it anymore. I changed it. I do not have magical shorthand.
I mean, it's a rank 4 spell. I don't think you have any major problems. It's just
No,
I'm
not worried about it.
the learn a spell action. So
How
what
does
you're
this
gonna
work?
do, you spend 1 hour per spell rank, which is why magical shorthand is so good, because you can do it in like I think per 10 minutes or something like that. And you need to spend you will need to spend some gold, but you will need to make a Arcana check. Now this is an uncommon spell, So it is going to be 2 DC higher, but I don't think you can fail.
Probably not. And my pocket library, probably doesn't apply here again.
No, it's not recon knowledge.
Yeah,
You
it's a
crit.
39. Yeah.
Which is good because now, in order for the spell to become viable for you, you need to spend half of 36 gold now, which is 18 gold pieces.
Oh man, I'm breaking the bank over here.
I know.
There we go.
And now you have learned in several hours of time. Granted, before you finish, Jack comes back and he's just like, not done yet.
This is
Fine,
a bit
I'll wait.
bigger of a spell. He's like writing the
Mhm.
last bits.
Sure. He almost annoyingly sits and waits for you to finish up. You feel you feel the kind of vibe that he is kind of lording the fact that he got it done faster than you over you.
Yeah, there's the bit of him where he's like, man, you know what, Jack, maybe I was a little too mean to him, and then immediately that feeling is, nope, never mind, I fucking kind of hate this guy. It's coming back. Like, his William's feelings towards Jack keep swaying back and forth.
But he doesn't disrupt
Eventually.
you, so
Yeah, it's just he does not like being watched intently while he's working. Because I mean, like anybody, it's weird.
yeah.
But yeah, he finishes up the spell.
And he's like, all right, here's your page back.
Thank you, and here's yours.
And he looks at it, kind of checks it over. Ah, the authentic one, probably. All right. Your barbarian friend's over there looking rather intimidating.
He is my
Oh.
bodyguard.
That was an accident.
Just
As he's
spamming
just, like,
weapon fury over and over.
Angrily holding his new weapon.
Well, I'll see you in Absalom. I don't like to overstay my welcome. So, you can
Yes,
come to
I'll
me
seek
next
you out.
time.
I'll seek you out in Absalom.
I'm sure you will. And he kind of walks off.
You just see him teleport.
There's like, as he leaves and is out of earshot, there's just another like sigh of just like the frustrated, just getting that out from this guy just sitting watching him write for like 30 minutes.
Are you alright?
I keep going back and forth on whether or not I hate this man's guts.
Well, it seems beneficial, at least the relationship for now.
It's useful. I can get interesting like this spell is very useful for where we're going to be dealing with. Like, I think I'll actually make use of it, and if there's more. But on the other hand, we'll see. The only hurdle I see is just any moral objections that's raised of me carving off another man's face and using it.
As long as it gets the mission done, I'm not particularly against it.
That's my opinion too.
Yeah, I'm trying to find... I don't know if they remade the spell or...
Oh, is this an actual spell?
Well,
I was just
no,
writing
it's
it my
it
own.
is it's a bit of a homebrewed spell, I think. Anyway, I don't know. There's always this bad habit of I make a thing. It's like, oh no, Paizo already thought of that.
Because I'm currently just creating my own fourth level spell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's at the very least not the one I've devised. I'm just trying to see what in our spell similar to point you in the direction, because there is disguise or illusory disguise rather, which does the same thing. Only you can't do a specific individual. Though this one, Steel Face also does not have a duration. Though the face, the face is consumed upon the casting of the spell.
That is fair. Gotcha. So it'll be roughly the same, except for the key distinguishing features of this spell is it is a perfect disguise. It is undetectable to magical means of detecting magic, and you have a +4 circumstance bonus to any checks to impersonate this person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the
Okay.
same. There's just no duration. This is also a 4th rank spell rather than a 1st rank spell, which is what it was originally.
Yep. And it's to do a specific person instead of just a
Yeah,
a
it's
general
whomever's
creature.
face you're stealing. So
Yes. Oh, and then yeah, it's circumstance, not status, because illusory disguise gives a status bonus, not circumstance.
yeah, no, this one's circumstance.
Yeah, circumstance because it's specifically, as you said, it's any check required to like pretend to be this person.
Yep.
Gotcha. I will create the spell and probably switch it out with another spell that I realized was not very good. I will do that with my daily preparations. So I will 100% use this.
All right, but there was your guys' encounter for the day. New wizard contact. All right. After that week, there's a few more days. So I'm going to up the DC for encounters up to 90. So that needs to be above a 90. You're so close to Absalom now that there's just not a lot going on. But there might be something. See, not on that day. Oh, so close to 100. Not on that day. And not on that day. All right. So you guys arrive in Absalom.
It's pitch black.
I was so crazy.
Let me
There's
give...
an eclipse.
There's a solar eclipse happening in Absalom.
What's with eclipses?
I can only assume William is dead with his low HP.
Yeah, the sun briefly was covered and William died immediately because of his vitamin D deficiency.
He got sick.
His heart stopped beating, like, immediately.
Where's the couch?
Rumble, where's the emergency Sunny D?
Unfortunately, he can't unleash the power of the sun on somebody else yet.
No.
That is a feat I believe he can take later, though. Which is
Yeah, as Konrasu.
Hold on, I got something for this. It's like you jolts him with electricity.
I was imagining Wii Fit trainer.
Anyway, so you go through the flotsam graveyard, which it's been a while since we've gone through here, so I'll re-describe it to you. The flotsam graveyard is a natural barrier of ships that have long since been destroyed. The paths are incredibly narrow, and while this is somewhat encumbersome for like merchant ships to get through, this does prevent the harbor from being easily raided, as a ship needs to go at a very slow speed and navigate the graveyard carefully to get to the harbor. But as you all finally make dockside, a problem arises. Absalom is a city of many wonders and great many wonders, many different types of people. Anything in the world you could find could likely be found here. Though, there is problems when it comes to having an elephant walking through the streets.
No.
So, y'all need to find a place to store your elephants before traveling freely through the streets of Absalom.
What's the problem with it?
Yeah, I
Since
wonder.
I grew up in Absalom, would I have an idea as to where to find a place?
I mean, I'm sure you can think of something. Eastgate has probably like a stable that you could easily use, as it being one of the more commonly used gates in the city. The Merchant's Quarter might have some kind of luxury stable that could be used.
Does anyone else still not have eyes in this scene?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's still pitch
What?
black for me.
Okay.
Oh my god, I took off.
It keeps
token
telling me I
vision.
don't own a token of
Yeah,
vision.
same here.
I'm glad we're discussing about the
What the
elephant in the
heck?
room.
We're all currently in the bottom of the
Nice.
ship where it is
Can you
pitch
see now?
black.
Yeah,
Now,
Nope.
Yeah.
What?
it's over here, Hooter.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, my character sheet was just covering it completely.
There's a
Gotta
person.
zoom in a bit.
And this is Eastgate right here, right?
Guys, there's a
Yes.
giant right outside the city in the ocean.
Is there?
What are you
Yeah, right
talking
there.
about?
I don't see
Look at
that.
how
There's nothing there.
I don't see
Going
anything.
crazy.
Are you okay?
no.
Oh.
I don't see anything there, even as GM. So
It's suddenly turned into Call of Cthulhu. Sylvanas just sees a looming monstrosity off on the horizon that no one else can acknowledge.
How's your sanity doing?
Oh my god, yeah, there's something over there. Oh my god, it's Mr. Spellcaster.
What are you guys talking about?
He's the
Look at the
villain of the
image I just
story.
sent.
it's like just an image.
It's a joke.
Oh,
There's no one there.
that's so weird because I there's literally nothing on my screen there.
This is where we learn Sylvanas is haunted by a ghost.
It's the hag.
It's the hag
Oh.
just waiting for you.
This whole time.
That's interesting.
Well, looks over at the elephant. We have a couple options to try. And correct me if I'm wrong, Everett, but the Merchant Quarter or the Eastgate might be our best bet.
You're right. I think that'll be our best bet.
Huh.
Merchant Quarter would be in the city. It might also be more expensive, probably. And we can try the Merchant's Quarter, and if that doesn't work, we can go to the Eastgate.
I can help pay for it. If
Okay.
needed.
I guess just to make sure, because I don't actually have it written down. What was the city that you attended college at, Sylvanas? Was that Absalom? That wasn't Absalom, was it?
You know, I
That's not
never
this city, was it?
decided that.
I'm
It was.
sure it would have been
Was it?
Absalom.
Almost
You
like
did
it was.
decide that. Like
was
right
like,
when you
did
made your
I?
character.
So I thought I
Oh.
remember that because like I thought I also remember us having that because I remember the important aspect is that William is from the same city as you, and then also then that carried over to oh shit, yeah, William's also from Absalom, so William also would know.
Yeah, I would also know. However, I don't want to help.
You got something against Jitai Koran?
I got something against elephants.
What elephants do to you?
Can I remember if I
Oh,
know
no.
any elephant boarding houses by making a society check?
This is
I
where we
mean-
find out that Greg was killed by an elephant, canonically. He was driving the boat.
Okay, good. I was right. my instinct was correct because I have a book of Absalom. All
Oh.
areas in Absalom. The school that y'all went to was the Arcanum Arcanumerium? Arcanumerium. It's so spelled so strange. I'll type it out for
Arcanumerium.
y'all.
Should probably not show my face around there. And as William also like throws part of his robes over the book that's chained on his hip. It's like he can cover it, he cannot remove it from his person. It is a cursed item.
But it is one of the largest and most prestigious schools in Absalom. The Archlords of Nex built the institution following the disappearance of the Archmage Nex and their subsequent exile from their distant homeland. They designed its imposing high black stone walls, stone gate, and soaring towers to foster a sense of security among its students. The single entrance features an intimidating portcullis and red-robed guards wielding pikes. They are meant to remind visitors that magic is a potent force best kept locked away from ignorant minds.
Is that in the Wise Quarter?
That is in the Wise Quarter, correct?
Makes sense?
I couldn't remember if it was the Wise Quarter that had the schools or if it was the Ivy District.
You know, that's the funny thing is I went through the same thing, so I went and picked up the book to go check. And it's the Wise Quarter, so.
Because
I
the only
would've
thing I
guessed-
remember is the Petal District is like all the performers and stuff.
Yes.
That's fair. I would either guess the Wise Court or the Ascendant Court. Of like either of those two is like that makes sense for either of those two having a big wizard college.
Well, the Ascendant Court is the high nobility kind of built up around the Starstone Temple.
Yeah. That's what that black hole is in the center.
Oh. That's fair.
Also, man, that must be prime real estate to live next to the Starstone Temple.
True.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Would William possibly know where an elephant could go?
well, and the same thing as what Fidget said. It's either in the merchant quarter because there might be someone who is hosting some kind of special service for large mounts in particular, or somewhere near Eastgate, as that's one of the most commonly used gates for people traveling along the island. And if anywhere is going to have a stable, it will probably be them. So you guys head off. Navigating with your elephant is somewhat difficult because the problem with Absalom is it was never meant to be the mega city that it is today. So many of its streets have grown organically over the years due to necessity. Which, if you've ever been to a place where streets are built that way, most of them are really small. Very tight quarters. There are some kind of main strips that cut through and allow some easier traffic through, and this is what allows y'all to essentially navigate the elephants to, I'm assuming, the merchant quarter first is what you're all saying?
Yep, just
Yeah.
pass through there, and then if there's nothing there, we'll head to Eastgate.
Okay. So, heading into the merchant quarter. Actually, let me see here. It's probably one of the biggest places in all of Absalom. Fun to actually get to use this book. Wait, why is there not a section for the merchant quarter?
Maybe they leave that open-ended so you can fill whatever merchants you want in there.
It doesn't exist.
Well,
It's lying to you.
You missed the book where the merchant's quarter got wiped off the map.
You see, that's the god that's being killed.
The
Right there.
merchant's quarter.
Yeah.
God of the merchants.
Not
No, just the merchant
Abadar.
quarter.
Abadar's cool. I don't want him to die. What
Yeah,
did he
that's
do
why
to
I said the
deserve
merchant's
it?
quarter, not the god of merchants.
I think we have the treasury. Alright, 1 second. It might be in the treasure vaults. book. Because I do remember distinctly there being like a book with various merchants that they came out with. I mean, this is super not necessary. I can just make up whatever. But it's Absalom. No, not Treasure Vault. Weird. I could have swore. Oh, wait. Oh, there's another book. What is that book called? Oh, goodness. Grand Bazaar. Do we have Grand Bazaar? Oh, Suzanne's not here. No, that's in the coins district. What happened? Why is there no merchant district?
There might be a Pathfinder wiki on it.
Is it an outskirts place? My god, there's a million NPCs in this book. Holy moly. No, that's definitely not it. This book is so cool, by the way. I wish I was more of a Pathfinder 2e lore fanatic, because honestly, the books are always so good.
Per the Pathfinder wiki, the Merchant's Quarter is not a marketplace. It functions more as a business sector of the city. The coins functions as the marketplace.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's the thing is, I'm aware what it's meant for. It's just strange that there's no chapter.
As I just said, this is so boring. No one would ever go to a business sector in a tabletop RPG.
Not unless you had some lore.
Yeah, because unless the merchant quarter is like, there are shops here. Thumbs up.
Well, they have like every other place mentioned. Just not that one. That's so bizarre. But anyway, because the thing is like, if anyone was going to have like a pack elephant or something, it'd be a merchant.
True.
Which is why that was my initial guess. But it's like the only thing on this map, which this is a second edition map, by the way. That's just not written in the rules. That's so strange. So I guess I gotta do whatever I want. So that being the case, as you guys enter into the Merchant's Quarter, you see a mixture of various nice houses, some with like gates. You see individual like guilds for various types of like you see like a roofer's guild, a cook's guild, all that kind of stuff. This seems to be a very purely for the purpose of this is where merchants go when they're no longer in their shops, or if anyone comes to like start a business here, it's probably the thing. It does take a little bit of searching, but with time you guys do manage to find within the Merchant's Quarter anyway, a exotic animal. It's not really a stable, rather it's more like a daycare service, because many different exotic animals have very particular needs and need to be kept in very particular ways.
If it's a daycare, do they provide us pictures of our pets when we pick them up?
No, but there is a guy kind of waiting on the outskirts for anyone who wants a picture drawn of any of the animals in the enclosure.
And he draws them before asking, and then he shows it to you and insists that you have to pay because he drew it already.
Oh, that gives me so much anxiety. That's like walking through Seattle. Fuck, I hate that shit.
How much do they charge?
So for this one in particular, they charge 20 gold a night.
Oof.
Oh,
I
Well,
thought you were asking
why
how
not
much
speed
the
it up
picture
more?
guy charged.
Picture guy does do portraits of any of the beasts for 5 silver.
It's cheaper than I expected.
Hey, sorry, what was the question being asked?
How long are we planning on staying in Absalom?
For the time being.
Alright, this ain't my elephant. Y'all can pay for it.
Not mine.
Not my elephant.
20's too much.
Sweating.
I look to Jito Kairen under me and I, aghast, say, they've betrayed us. We've been abandoned.
I meant I'm not paying for here. We need money for a place to stay as well. Unless you plan on sleeping with the elephant the entire time.
Can we?
I'm sure they charge extra.
Seems pretty nice here.
Do they have like extra charges on their board for people wanting to stay with their animals?
Typically they don't allow people to stay with their animals, though you are permitted to go in and spend time with your animal as much as you choose to.
Why don't we check out Eastgate first before we make our decision?
All right.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go.
Okay. So, fortunately, from the Merchant's Quarter, getting to Eastgate's relatively easy. There's a main road that cuts through, that leads to the coins on the opposite side. So that being the case, it's not a lot of effort to get to the Eastgate. Now, Eastgate does have a lot of inns similar to the Merchant's Quarter, though of a somewhat lower quality, and many of which have some stables. Most don't look like they would house an elephant, but you do manage to find like some locations, though when you inquire, the proprietors give you kind of a dubious look and are prone to turn you away, as that sounds like a lot of effort to keep an elephant in their stable in any, decent condition at the very least. But maybe you can convince them.
I turned to the group and sort of whispered to everyone, okay, guys, I'm thinking I'm going to try to convince them all that Jito Kairen here is just a really big horse. We fed him a little too much on the way over here, and now this is what's happened.
Okay.
Effort gives Sprite a really weird look.
We might need to find another location if this doesn't work.
There's just a collar you could buy as well that would make this easier.
I don't have money.
What's the collar?
It turns them into a little figurine.
No, the one I'm thinking about is it turns them into like
A smaller
version of
familiar.
their
Yeah.
species. Yeah.
How small?
tiny.
Well,
probably
turns a
just
panther
small.
into a cat, so
Yeah, what's a cat's size? Mr. Piddles is small.
Cats are, I believe, tiny.
That's what I thought. And then I thought, why is Mr. Piddles so big?
His dogs tend to be bigger than cats.
Whoa.
Not corgis.
Corgis tend to be
You
bigger than cats.
skinned it.
Yeah.
You also just like
Wow.
skinned them as a corgi. Like just the average dog is bigger than the average cat.
Do we want to go looking for the collar? There might be something.
I kind of want to see this happen.
What if
feel like you
we
can do it.
I saw one. There's something called the swarm form collar. Could turn it to a swarm of elephants. That could also help.
That's, huh?
That's horrifying.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Just stare at an elephant until it explodes. And there's just a cloud of elephants.
I don't know what you mean by that. That sounds downright wholesome.
I feel like it wouldn't know what to do and it would just freak out and something bad would go.
It's mass
Something bad would
elephant
happen.
panic.
I don't know
So-
why you think it would do that.
So you're telling me I can receive the love of 1,000,000 Jito Kairens?
What if we got the Chaos Collar, which 3 nights per month it transforms the animal into the form of a terrifying monster?
Oh, that's a new one.
No.
I do like it.
I'm coming up with solutions here to our problem, and I'm just feel like I'm being
How is
shut
that
down.
one a solution? How is that one a solution, William? Please tell us.
I'm coming up with answers and solutions, and I'm getting
What
a
if
lot of
I-
no's without a lot of other answers and solutions.
I support you. What if it becomes a really small, terrifying monster?
Is it nighttime though?
I found a traveling companion's chair. I found exactly what we were talking about earlier.
Nice.
By the way, it's 4 gold.
Yeah, they're not expensive.
Magic items in general are not expensive.
Yeah, I'm looking at the companion items because I assume that's where it would be, because that's where I'm finding the collars that you could put on a companion.
So
Yeah.
is the elephant considered a companion?
Yes.
No.
Oh, it's by the way, it's the collar of inconspicuousness is the collar you guys are talking about. It is a level 8 item and it costs 475 gold.
Oh.
Yeah, they're expensive.
You touch your animal companion to transform it into a non-threatening tiny creature of the same family or a similar creature. For instance, a house cat instead of a tiger, a puppy instead of a wolf. This has the effect of pest form, 2nd rank or 4th rank if your companion can fly. It lasts until you dismiss it.
You know, it's very funny. I just came to a page at Eastgate where several people are riding elephants in the art.
Discrimination.
Can we give this elephant to a loving home? Maybe
No.
that will help.
You get so much money.
There's a ton of
Drugs.
riches. You could probably would happily pay for an elephant.
Well, something that is of, I guess, a particular note. Many of you do have family in the city. Some more well-off and noble than others.
I am not asking my mom to take care of an elephant. And also, I don't know if Greg's still alive. Greg might.
You don't have any reason to believe that he wouldn't be.
It's true. Greg might.
Yeah.
Also, isn't that the thing you rich nobles do anyways? Gift each other elephants, take care of them. Take care of weird pets in general.
Well,
you
Sylvanas
can just-
definitely does not come from a noble family.
Yeah. Well, you see, Greg isn't a rich noble. He just got rich after our first expedition out and was gifted just a shit ton of money for hazard pay.
Ah, fair enough.
So I don't know what he's done with that money. I haven't seen him much since.
I mean, if Greg is rich and like rich noble, well, you're friends with Greg. Greg can just pay somebody else to take care of the elephant. That's how rich people work.
Greg's not even the noble I've been alluding to.
Oh, who's this?
Yeah, I don't.
I wonder.
I wonder who else comes from this town.
Is it you, William?
I don't think so.
it's probably Everett.
Is it the person
No.
who we know is deeply connected to a powerful cult?
I don't know dad's back in town yet or not. He likes to travel.
Are you nobility, Everett? Is that a thing?
Well,
It wouldn't
see.
surprise me.
It's never been brought up. I've never learned this about you.
I don't know if Everett would discuss about his family. He doesn't talk about them for a certain reason.
Well,
Well, you guys are
Good
coming
God.
at an impasse. It's getting really hard to find a space for this elephant.
Guess we'll just have to sell Jitai Kairen.
or we could all just let Sprite try and convince them. I kind of want to see that.
Okay, guys, I'll try to convince them as a last ditch. To be honest, I wasn't entirely sure I would remember to come back for them if we left them here. But I'll do my best. I go to walk up. I ride Jito Kairen up to the stable people.
Okay. So, how are you trying to convince them?
I look down.
You look down.
If you're talking Booter, we can't hear you.
I think someone just might have come into his room.
I look down from on top of my elephant friend, and I say, "Hello, I'd like to leave my horse here."
Can they even see you on this?
No.
They look at you. Well, you have to go inside. And like, sure. That will be. Well, you plan on getting a room here as well?
Oh, I don't know. I turn to everyone else.
Can I use society lore to know if there is a better place to stay for a better price?
Perhaps one of our many homes.
I mean, yeah, many of you have lodging you can get here. Bean.
Ah, Bean made the cat cam today.
Ah. Well, I at least can't help except of my own city knowledge because I came from nothing, worked my way up to actually having wealth, and then had to run away after being cursed with an item and having to steal it. So
I
I have a lot I
mean,
can answer for.
my house in the puddles isn't too bad.
I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. Lay you on the side.
William, did you grow up in the puddles?
Is the puddles a pretty low income quarter of the city?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Oh, I lived on this street. Did you live there?
Other side.
Ah, okay. Small city.
Yes. Small neighborhood, at least. Grew up, then eventually was on my own, but got a job at the wizard college, since that's the only way I could afford any form of education. I feel like most of us are from this city, right?
I'm from Westerhold.
Ooh, fancy.
I
is
am not.
Is that low income? I thought it, or high income?
He just said fancy because it's better than the puddle.
Oh, okay.
It's outside the wall. It can't be that much better.
It's one of the richest outlying towns.
Oh my god.
I just chose. I don't know. I was going for like lower middle class.
Damn,
Uh,
Sylvanas is rich.
maybe Shoreline, I want to say.
That makes sense.
I'm from Shoreline.
Yeah, it's also home to some of Absalom's most fragrant businesses, such as tanneries and breweries. Most of Shoreline's inhabitants are quite poor, although they comfort themselves with the fact that they at least are dry most of the time, unlike the people who live in the puddles.
Yeah, I'm from Shoreline.
Half the reason you learn magic is because if you live in the puddles, you learn prestidigitation, and now suddenly you have dry feet and dry
Whoa.
soles.
Crazy.
Yeah, high tide's rough in the puddles.
The reason I learned magic was because I have magic in my blood.
I'm proud.
Whoa.
I do a zap zap
Anyway.
motion with my hands.
I think we can probably find a better place than the inn.
Most likely. I mean, the best part about leaving Absalom is just not having to stay there. I have no clue what happened to my old family place. Certainly not owned anymore. Haven't paid anything for it at all.
Ugh, I've returned.
So, I mean, once we get settled in, I probably should go see my mom and Greg.
Would be important. Let's see, because you're not from Absalom, like pointing at Sprite. I don't think you're not from Absalom. Like to Rumble.
I'm not, no. I'm from the Malongi, where we met up.
Yeah, exactly. Just like there's an absolutely wild set of circumstances where that could have been a thing.
Where 3 different groups of people met up with each other, all happen to be from the same part of the world on the other side of the world.
That's just fate.
Yes.
And I'm not from this world. Or am I?
You are from a different world.
So, in answer to your question, sir, or ma'am, or whichever you prefer, no, we will not be getting a room here.
All right. Well, use of the stables is not much, depending on, I guess, how big the horse is. If you don't got anything too large, it probably will run you a couple silver a day.
I make a face like, ooh, on the way over here, we were a little generous with the food for our horse. So he's gotten a little bit big on the heftier side of horses for sure.
Well, then I might have to bump the price up to 5 silver then.
All right. I start digging around in my bag of holding backpack, and I turn to everyone and go, by the way, I still don't have any money.
Here, hands you a platinum.
Oh,
Oh.
I bite it. Is it
Okay.
real?
It's real platinum.
Can you bite it? It's like as big as your head, isn't it?
Yeah, but just take a little bite out of it. I don't stick the whole thing in my mouth.
I mean, that would be too outside of Spread's wheelhouse.
Just Looney Tunes it. Tom and Jerry. My head becomes the shape of a coin. I gingerly put the platinum piece with a little bite mark in it into my bag of holding, and I hold my hand out to Everett. 5 gold, 5 silver, please. All right. Well, how many days are we staying?
That's a good question. If we wish to extend our stay, are we able to?
Yeah, of course.
I look over to Fidget like we should not come back here before we're ready to take them.
I handed you a platinum. That should send us up for a good while.
20 days. I
just-
did the math.
Yeah, that's for 20 days right there.
Oh
Yeah,
my
just hand
God.
that over to be safe.
Yeah.
All right. I pay the platinum I just got.
He's like, how long you guys plan on staying? Because I don't break platinum here.
I can break it down for you if you want. I just need to head back to one of the banks.
Oh, I mean, like I said, it just depends. How much are you? How long you plan on staying?
If we
How-
come back before the 20 days is over, can we get change?
He just said he doesn't break platinum.
Yeah, but that's now.
20 days.
20 days. All right. Yeah, I don't like walking with platinum in my pocket, but we can make do. Yeah. All right. Well, go ahead and take your horse on over to the stable, and the stable hand should direct you to where you need to go.
Okay, thank you very much. I go to bring Jito Kairen over.
I do
Alright.
not follow.
As I'm riding him to the stables, I pat his little head and I say, "It's all right, Jito Kairen. I'm sure I'll come back for you eventually. I won't forget," I say very uncertainly.
This elephant's just a giant Tamagotchi.
Oh.
As you bring him over to the stable hand, he kind of looks up and he's just like, can I help you? It's a young guy. He can't be
I-
much older than like 18.
I slide down and then stand on the tip of the elephant's trunk and I say, "Here's my horse," and I throw some
Uh,
reins to him and then say, "Bye, I'll see you in 20 days," and then I just leave.
Wait, we don't take care of elephants here.
"It's a horse!" And I leave.
It's not,
It's self-conscious about its weight.
sir. You can't leave your elephant here. He begins pursuing after you.
I just start booking it past the group.
Sir, if you leave your elephant here, we're not going to be responsible for it.
That's
I'm
on
I'm
you.
running. I will not stop for anything.
Everett has his head in his hands.
All right. Well, I guess they got a free elephant.
Even gave them money for it.
Yeah,
Give them
you
money
could
for an
have
elephant.
you could have just sold your elephant. No, you had to pay a platinum to get rid of your elephants.
You
Yeah,
paid them to give them an elephant.
it's a
and what?
disposal fee. I'm sure we'll find an elephant roaming around in the city somewhere.
All right.
Fidget's going to.
I start sprinting after Sprite.
She's gonna pull out 10 silver and 2 gold pieces, put them in a bag, and pass it to the person in the inn and go, "This is for your stable hand, and I am very sorry about what they're gonna be dealing with," before she leaves.
What? Huh? He looks down at flabbergasted because this is very sudden. All right. So... All right. The elephant problem is dealt with, I suppose.
I'm gonna come
Oh.
back for it, and he better be here.
You won't.
You're gonna forget.
You were
I will
told he
forget.
wouldn't. They wouldn't be responsible.
I'm
on
probably gonna
Sprite.
forget anyway.
Are they gonna let it go or something?
They're
Or
just gonna get rid of it or sell it.
They're probably just gonna sell it and make even more money off of this elephant.
Some fucking weird fae came in, paid me a platinum, and gave me an elephant I didn't want. Now I'm just gonna go sell it. Like, I don't know what happened today, but like, I had the weirdest day at work. Like, as they come home from work to their wife and kids.
To realize that their wife and children don't love them anymore because I cursed them for selling my elephant.
Alright, here's what we gotta do. If they ever sell the elephant, find out who they stole it to, or sold it to, steal it, and then bring it back to the inn or the stable.
Oh my god.
And then we place it in the stable without
pay
anyone
them
knowing.
even
And then
more money.
we go back around and say, hey, we're here for our horse, and then pick it up. And they'll be so confused because they're like, didn't we get rid of that thing?
Exactly.
You know, I like the idea more if you just pay them to get rid of the elephant again. they're just you're gonna drive them insane. They're gonna just be like, I don't know what happens. This guy keeps giving us the same elephant, and
We're
then we
so
keep
unbelievably
selling it.
rich, but at what cost? They spend every day just sitting in a corner, rocking back and forth in a fetal position, but they're surrounded by money.
I don't know what kind of game this is.
Once we're far enough away from the inn, Fidget just like doubles over laughing. She's got tears in her eyes. This is too funny.
I wipe the non-existent sweat from my forehead. Sprite doesn't have sweat glands. This is canon now.
How far does this poor stable boy chase after Sprite before he gives up?
I mean, not that far.
He
I
doesn't get
assume
paid
not
enough.
off the premises.
Like a little down the road, but that's about it.
Especially when Sprite starts flying.
Well, like, Sprite gets far enough ahead, they just lose track of Sprite. Granted, Sylvanas ran to Sprite, which I guess makes it easier. But no, he doesn't chase you much further down the road, so I was just confused.
Yeah.
And now has
the
to go
whole
deal with an
situation is
elephant.
weird.
Part of me wants so badly to be the fly on the wall when the innkeeper finds out.
But alright, you guys have now sold an elephant.
Congratulations, our elephant problem is solved. I guess our next situation we have other situation. I don't know.
You know,
Any of you don't have other issues to deal with. I guess you were the only one we don't know fully. Like, looks over to Everett. You didn't answer when we were all waiting for Sprite at the stables. Are you, like, where are you from? You're not from here too, are you?
I am.
Oh. Like, where here? I guess how much? 'Cause we're in the puddles. How rich is your
Alicia
blood?
sweats.
I live in the nicer part of Absalom.
Which one? There's several.
Which one is the noble, like, or I guess which one would be the noble quarter? Like,
Well, so a lot of the time, each area kind of might have some nobles depending on like what they do. For instance, like wizards, important wizards of the city probably live up more towards the wise quarter. Most of the best houses kind of live either in the Ivy district, which was like the old art quarter that kind of got turned into the higher class living area, or the Petal district, which is another very nice one. The Ascendant Court is for a lot of very important individuals, though it's also a predominantly religious zone. So
I come from the Ivy district.
oh damn.
whoa.
Okay.
Everett, you're the part of the 1%?
Well,
Well, that kind of, I mean, assumedly might solve our problem. Like, still the house there? Can we crash?
You haven't been paying for all of my expenses?
I don't have the money, but my family does. But you just see Everett become more tense and nervous than he was before.
You good?
Um,
Family issues?
he looks right at Sylvanas, and you can see it all. You were correct. And he just nods his head.
Well, I can't wait to
Gosh,
meet them.
I don't think we're going to.
What?
Everett doesn't seem to want to.
If we can, let's not meet them.
Well, if you want me to curse them, just say the word.
No, no, no. Don't curse them. We just avoid them if we can. Okay.
Well, there's some pretty fun ones.
No.
All right, no Ivy Quarter then, or Ivy District. Then we have a shitty house in the puddles. Apologies, but I assume it's probably not very nice. Like he looks over to to Fidget. Mine wasn't, at least.
Eh. The exterior's not the best, but my dad made it so the floors floated at least, so we weren't being drowned in water.
That's something. We have presumably a place over in Shoreline. Looks over at Sylvanas.
Well, the house I grew up in, Shoreline, not fitting us. However, depends what Greg did with his money. It's up in the air.
We could go talk to this Greg fellow. I don't know who this is, but we could go speak to him.
Also, Greg didn't live with you. He did have his own house.
Yeah,
So
I
you've
know.
basically 2 houses in Shoreline.
I don't know what Greg did. That I just said that.
Yeah.
Don't know how big the house Greg has.
But last you knew, you grew up with 2 houses.
He has a house in Shoreline as well, but again, don't know what he did. Might still have it.
We can track him down, and worst comes to worst, we can just rent an inn somewhere. We can stay for free because we don't know fully where we are. Would be kind of nice. And who knows, this Greg fellow. What if he's staying in a nice big mansion?
Though, I don't know what kind of trouble we're going to be getting ourselves into. We sure we want to be staying with people that we're close to? Could get them crossed and put them in line of fire of our enemies.
Is Greg able to handle himself? Is Greg are they just a normal person?
I mean,
Oh.
Greg was a good shot last I saw.
He was with us in the past. He seems like he can handle himself.
Against normal things, yes. Like, it's like slightly above average stuff. Probably could not have helped us with the at the House of Perfection. Unless he's kept up with his archery.
I don't see why a conversation couldn't happen at least. See where things are going, touch base. If things get hot, we can always just move.
That's fair.
Besides, that's the safer bet anyways. It'd be just as dangerous living around other people in like a public inn. If things got hot anyways, we need to move around. Stay mobile.
Yeah, we can leave my house in the puddles then as the last resort. Because if something happens in the puddles, no one's probably going to go looking into it too much.
Or alternatively, it's a quick place to look if we're laying low. Or alternatively, there's just a lot of hidden spots there.
Yeah, there was this one alley. I wonder if it's still there. It was really good.
Got a lot of nice hidden areas like that. I certainly use them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll take the trek. About what time of day is it by now?
So that's a fun
3:01.
thing about the city. It's massive. This is New York City in size. If you check at the very bottom right corner of the map, it gives you a little a little graph. So it's like 3 inches to a mile, give or take. Meaning to get from Eastgate to the puddles, you guys are traveling probably close to 8 miles.
If this is New York City, is there public transit we can take to make it faster?
There is public transit, but it doesn't necessarily make it faster.
Is it faster than walking?
We still have 2 lizards.
No, we have one.
Oh yeah, you ate yours.
No, I gave him to a loving home. There's a
What's
poor farmer
the
now figuring out he can use
difference?
a riding lizard for his crops.
It is about 4.3 miles from Eastgate to Puddles.
Let's see.
4.3? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We're level
'cause-
14 adventurers. That's nothing for us.
It's just a spring walk.
It'll take you
That's
several hours.
We can eat now, and then we'll burn off those calories in our short jaunt to the shoreline. Is that where we're going?
I think the first good stop is finding Greg.
Yeah. Ooh, we could
That's
grab
a good
lunch over at the Coins. The Coins has got some good food places there. Oh.
All right. Well,
So do we want to stop, grab lunch at the Coins, and then continue on?
Sure.
Yeah.
okay. Real quick, why don't we go ahead and take a 10-15 minute break? And that can help some people kind of figure some stuff out about their backgrounds here. And also give us some time to figure out what we're doing next. So we'll be right back.
should be fine.
Dying from
Okay.
water is just like a slightly less extreme version of that. Like you can technically die from radiation poisoning if you eat too many bananas, but you're clearly gonna die first from eating a million bananas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I know
so
it'll be fine.
yeah.
the thing is, like, it's really hard to just die from drinking just water. But the thing is like water strips like ions off of stuff real easy, and in the body is no
Yeah.
exception. So what drinking a ton of water does is it can remove a lot of the mucus layers in your throat or even in your stomach if you have too much water at a time. So, because it's something I figured out because I used to drink a ton of water all the time, and then there'd just be days I'm like, man, why is my throat like scratchy? Why is my throat like hurt? Am I sick? No, just drinking too much water. Not drinking enough things that allow my mucous membrane to like repair itself.
It's also the bit where you could die if you just eat pounds of almonds. Because if you do that, there's enough trace elements that make up cyanide where you've basically constructed cyanide in your stomach and you will die.
It's pretty hype.
Yo.
But your body will will die first of eating too much almonds before you create cyanide.
Yeah.
That's great.
What was that
Which
one
is
thing?
very
Someone had
fun.
ate like so many chicken nuggets and got paralyzed from it.
That is
Wait,
true.
what?
Yeah. Then
It did
everyone
happen.
went, so the limit is one less.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a scientist.
Yeah, this would be a great topic to start on.
Should I try it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you could handle that many chicken nuggets. I think you're too weak in
You-
the chicken nugget department.
You got
You don't
20
know
and
that.
you
Yeah,
tap
like
out.
25 max.
No, I can eat more than 20.
I don't know.
25.
All
I'll
right.
show you guys.
Bad Luck Gamer hosting a mukbang starring Alicia and chicken nuggets.
So
Oh no!
It's
I
just
did
Alicia.
I did look it up. So damn, I will say the story is satire. It's fake.
No, it's not.
It is not a true story, but what is declared the limit is the person was paralyzed and hospitalized 413 chicken nuggets, therefore the limit is 412.
Yeah.
So now we know what to go over and make the story real.
Also, I think you guys are underestimating Alicia a little bit. I think Alicia can hit 30, but it's going to be a real struggle.
I just
I
won't
don't
eat
know.
breakfast and see how it goes.
32.
What this is just like it's kind of
31.
a play on that one streamer trend
27.
where you there's that streamer challenge where you go to 10 fast food restaurants, drive up behind somebody in the drive-thru and just order like I'll have what they're having. You got to speed run 10 fast food restaurants with random orders, finish all of your food, see who finishes first in the streaming community.
That sounds awful. I'll just get a bunch of food I don't like.
It could be bad, but it also could be easy. It just depends where you go.
I'll take all of the kids' meals we get.
It'd be fun.
One day we'll do when y'all are living closer, we'll have some fun stuff. Anyway, speaking of fun stuff, so you guys are going and having a merry time in the coins.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now there's a cute little cafe here. It looks up at Rumble, maybe something bigger. I don't know, are there any shops around here that cater to someone Rumble size?
Yes, technically. So, interesting question, because at this point in the game, until How the Wild comes out next month, there are technically no large ancestries. But there are new large ancestries being released next month. So, maybe. I mean, at the very least, there's some outdoor restaurants where you can go and create as much room as you need. The chairs might not be supporting now.
I should mention that Rumble isn't permanently enlarged. He can go back to medium.
That's just when you rage, right?
No, this is a completely other thing that's giving me the enlarged effect.
Oh.
It's easier for me to get clothes. I just have to stop by a doll shop.
Oh, there's that outdoor cafe. What about that one? William points to one that's like just gated off. Where we can, there's easily not too busy right now, so we can just like shove some chairs over to make room for people.
I mean, that's probably fine. I gotta say, I never went to many cafes. I just went to wherever's cheapest.
Earn enough coins, it doesn't hurt to treat yourself.
I usually just bummed money and ate off cheap campus food.
But now we have Everett. Everett's rich.
I don't think
That's right.
particularly.
I'm not rich. I'm not rich.
Goes inside, Fidget requests an outdoor table.
I'm trying to coax money out of Everett while we're waiting.
He ignores you.
Hi, I'd like the table if that one's not reserved. Because we have a slightly larger friend, and she just like points to Rumble outside. Even though Rumble is smaller, Rumble's still taller than all of us.
Yeah, sure, go ahead, and we'll get you squared away. Just take whatever chairs you need. That's fine. It's not a super busy point of the day anyway.
Thank you so much. She just like motions for everyone. I might have to move some chairs around. That shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have any booster seats?
We do indeed have some booster seats. They're even stackable.
We might need a couple. Just looks over at Sprite.
No, they come out. They have these wooden kind of like build-a-block looking seats that you can stack together as many times as necessary.
Yes.
2 should be
Exactly
enough.
what I needed.
Fidget also requests one for herself.
And you are provided for.
I
We're
try to sit
twins.
between Sprite and Everett right now.
Thank you.
I poke Sylvanas on the shoulder and whisper, Sylvanas, ask Everett for some money. Do you think Everett's gonna pay for the meal this time?
No. He said he doesn't have money.
I cross my arms and pout. That's what all rich people say.
I don't think that's true. There are a lot of people who'd like to flaunt it. Be in your face about how much money they have.
Until I ask for it, then they all say they don't have any.
Well, that's because they don't want to give it to you. I think in Everett's case,
Exactly.
he's telling the truth. He doesn't have money to give.
I don't know.
Listen, I've known Everett for longer than I've known you, and yet we found out at the same time that he comes from money.
Exactly. So he's used to lying about it.
There seems to be stuff we don't know about. I'm gonna ask you nicely to stop.
I stare at Everett very deeply and I say, I wonder what money from a rich person tastes like.
Oh,
I grab
God.
him off my shoulder and put him on his booster seat.
All right.
I I start salivating too much, and then I dig into the food, thinking about money and tasting it.
So, important business while we are here. It like looks over to Fidget. You'll know at least our initial steps. Or I hope at least.
I mean,
Do you
I
know
can
where we'll actually locate this cult? He says the cult a little quieter.
I mean, I can start where I first learned. If they're still there, they might be able to point us in the right direction. If not, I've always heard there's pretty much another city like in the water underneath Absalom. Maybe I can check it out. I'm sure you've heard the stories, William, about the water folk that live underneath the docks on the walls.
Yeah, I imagine William has.
Everyone has.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So we can always check there if looking around doesn't turn up anything.
True. And eventually I'll also have to meet up with somebody. I actually met another wizard on the ship. He actually provided me a spell that I could use during this infiltration mission. And he'll like slide over. Alright, now he'll slide over his notes on what the spell he got of he'll slide it over to the party for any who actually know Arcana.
Everett will look at it.
So what the fuck does this say?
Roll Arcana.
Roll Arcana.
No. Flunked out of school. I don't know what this is.
I'll do it.
If it was like
I'll do it.
first rank or maybe possibly second, I would. But because it's fourth rank, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Damn.
Oh!
Oh, oh,
Oh.
Oh my god, guys.
I'm the
I just-
smartest.
I'm not actually rolling. I just want to see if I can do better than these nerds.
I mean, go ahead. Everett and I rolled a 1.
Amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
This is
Wow.
embarrassing.
All right. Well, everyone, Fidget, you're kind of looking at this note, kind of with like this expectation it's gonna be some interesting like formula or whatever. Looking it over, it's more just like a doctor's handwritten chicken scratch, and like there's some math written in there. It's just not a style of designing spells that you're overly familiar with. Sprite, not necessarily the most proficient Arcana, but you know of magic things. But it, more than anything, you see the required components: a fresh face.
I'm immediately interested.
And so, Vadas, you were so unsure of yourself, flunking out of school, but you looking it over, and this is an interesting variation of the illusory disguise spell, which is a low level spell that a lot of people tend to learn. But through the use of a physical medium and clever use of magic, you can make a near flawless disguise that can be detected by normal magic means. It's fascinating, except for the part of the requirements where it says you need the face peeled from an individual who died no longer than 24 hours ago.
Wait, this is illusory disguise, but
With a face.
yes, with the face.
yeah,
I
Like-
mean,
And like he like folds it and puts it back in his spell book.
like so that means you have to
Presumably,
like cut off
kill
the skin of
somebody,
someone.
slice
that-
their face off, use it for the spell, and then I become them.
Who the fuck did you meet?
That's so cool.
A wizard known as Jack Thomas. They were on the ship.
How did
Just
they get
had
on?
this.
Jack Thomas.
They just seemed like they were there the whole time. They just didn't make their presence known till the end.
Can we do it? Can we cast
Can
it?
we do a recall knowledge to see if I remember anyone kind of like that on the ship?
Sure.
He describes
I mean-
he describes his appearance at least. William has a decent memory.
What would I roll for this?
Society.
Can I try?
Yeah.
Man, you guys are really good at these rolls, huh?
Get the bad rolls out now before we have to deal with the actual cult.
What's
True.
I'm too busy being excited about the spell to think about this.
I don't recall anyone on the ship being like that.
Yeah, the rest of you trying to recall, they just sound so plain and normal that you may have seen them, but you just don't recall the individual in question.
I don't fully either, but
Also doesn't help
They-
that no one rolled like above a 5.
yeah.
Well, no, yeah, above a 5. So
I don't fully either, but I also they looked so plain and ordinary. I do what I do for most people, and I forget they exist the second I'm not actively looking at them. So primarily this spell, while admittedly for some people could be seen as morally dubious, is something that could come in quite handy for an infiltration mission, since a key part of this is unlike a normal illusion or illusory disguise. It's undetectable to anyone trying to detect magic, which I'm pretty good at pretending to be other people. So if it comes down to it, and then as well, he gave me his address, and he's staying here in Absalom, so I can go talk to him, see anything else, and learn more spells. He's a magical historian.
I start. I
He's
start
not a
flying.
mage that learns fucked up spells. He learns old, weird spells, or just spells created.
This spell is fucked up.
It is.
I start flying around excitedly and say, "Can we cast it? Can we cast it? Can you cast it on me?"
Not
No.
allowed to do that.
I start feeling my face very intently, and then I slowly turn my head to look at Everett.
If it helps, I can't
Oh
cast
god,
it.
no.
I can't cast it because you're not dead. So
Oh,
I mean, it looks like it's a high. I mean, the higher power of a simple spell. It seems like it has its purpose. Someone needed this in the past. It seems to
whoever
not be able to
created
be-
the spell is
seems to not be able to be detected by magic. Am I reading that correctly?
that's its upside. It's
Yeah.
indistinguishable. Illusory disguises, you create a disguise, but it's more of a general thing. Like, I'm going to appear as an elf today, but you can't be a specific elf. This one is you have somebody's face, you are now them and perfectly them. That's the
So,
difference.
It has a specific purpose, and I don't know. You can't really knock the person who created this for being evil or something. What if they used it for good?
They might have. I doubt it for someone who created this, but that's a possibility.
I mean, William's going to use it for good. I mean,
Exactly.
probably not entirely good, but
and stealing.
I wouldn't carve off a face for stealing. I have other tools for that don't require the death of another person.
What if it was like really important stealing though?
If it was for this mission, then yes.
Another question, who's expert enough in carving to remove a face without destroying it?
I could try.
He looks over at Rumble, like, presumably. Yeah, maybe.
I'd probably.
I mean,
Would it be crafting?
It
We
would be.
can-
It would
Probably be survival.
Yeah.
that's like just like skinning an animal.
It's just, the same general principle.
Also, do you guys think
Or whatever.
that Jared Thompson or whatever his name is so forgettable because he was using someone else's face to do a disguise?
I thought something similar.
You know that? Yeah. I was gonna ask if you detect any magic, but
I
doesn't
couldn't detect
indistinguishable.
anything.
yeah.
I couldn't detect anything past the spell he used to gain my attention because I'm innately will sense magic in my vicinity.
Wait, if he cast magic, but I can sense magic coming from you, even when you don't cast anything. If this person can use magic, how come you didn't sense any other magic?
Because they didn't have anything else going on. They casted something to get my attention because they know, and at least presumed, that I had a similar effect. But if, for example, they were stealing somebody's face using this spell, then I am unable to detect it, because that's part of the spell. The original person whose face he was stealing, well, it is undetectable by magical means. But if he had any other magical effects on him, I could not tell, because it seemed like he was just a man with regular clothes. No magical items, no magical effects, nothing except for the burst he used to catch my attention.
Correct me if I'm wrong, GM. And this is just me as a player questioning detect magic, but if someone is inherently magical in nature, wouldn't that be able to be picked up by detect magic even without specifications?
Nope.
Okay.
It's only ongoing magical effects.
Okay.
You might be able to use identify magic, but you have to spend 10 minutes like studying an individual to kind of judge.
Okay.
I wish there was a better way to steal someone's face.
Without directly carving. If it helps, the possible intention is that more than likely this is a thing that comes about in like a fight that happens, and then less than like a planned murder or something. But primarily if we use this to infiltrate the cult and get more information to do the mission, that's the situation I would plan to use this in.
Could be useful. I do not think I agree with this, but if it's our only option, I'm not going to argue it. I am not going to be the one doing any of this, though.
I wouldn't ask you to. And also, I assume we've traveled together enough that you would know that my moral opinions is roughly the same. I'm here to get the job done. I'm not here to do this for my own sick pleasure.
Until it comes to books.
If it comes to books, but I would not murder somebody over a book. That's a step too far.
I don't know. You looked pretty frustrated with that student at the college when they were not taking care of the spine with the book with a broken spine on it.
That is just a professional frustration.
Well, if that's the case, once we figure out and see if the living condition with Sylvanas is fine, did we want to plan to use my family's house in the puddles as a backup in case things go wrong? Establish points in the city to go to in case something goes wrong.
I think it's a general good idea. We have backup points, just like I said, the same way we would do if we were staying in a public inn. If we were playing it smart, if something happens, then we move to a different inn. So we have that situation. We feel like things are getting a little too hairy. We simply head over to the puddle. And if that gets a little too hairy in the same way, then we just go to an inn. We have to break out the coin purse.
All right then. Well, so unfortunately, the spell is amazing, but I think I lost my appetite.
Can I finish it then?
Sure. He pushes over like a plate of fish to you.
I swan dive into it.
I can also finish for the both of you.
Oh yeah, Sprite's gonna need it.
I feel like Sprite just has the stomach of Luffy.
It just
Yeah.
continuously eats.
Yeah, and then like, gets all puffy and then like burps and it's all gone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Alrighty. Enjoying the sun rumble? Yes, he is.
Damn, dude's in a light coma right now.
I'm so full of light.
He's enjoying it a little too much.
Getting concerned with how much he's enjoying the sunlight.
What's up?
How does sunlight taste?
Warm.
Whoa.
Mm.
It's exactly how I imagined it.
What does warm taste like?
Sunlight?
I mean, I
Hey,
wouldn't
I'm
imagine
asking
it
the
any
expert
different
here.
than like a warm soup.
Oh, what's going on?
No, no,
We're trying to talk to Rumble.
Yeah, we asked you how the sun was like, and you weren't responding.
So we started making puns.
Well, I believe we've also discovered he does need to eat actual food.
What?
Oh, that's right, because that's a Leshy thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep mixing up Konrasu with Leshy.
They're essentially the same thing.
Because they both have sun-related abilities.
But also, technically, Konrasu aren't even. They're not plant things, just Rumble is.
I mean, they do have the plant tag as well.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
I
because
just knew
they grow
Rumble was a
there.
special thing.
Because like the
Alex just
natural growing ones or
lying.
something.
Alex just lying live on stream for all to hear.
Well, let me put it this way. This is I'm grabbing a picture. This is what a normal Konrasu looks like, and then compared to what Rumble is. Rumble's more of a tree man with the orb because I photoshopped that orb into a tree for
Mhm.
Rumble. Like that's the difference.
I was fully expecting you not to send anything. Just
Just
that was
silent.
the end of your thing.
Just
Well,
stop
here's the
talking.
thing: leave the call. Just like run away. Leave the call. My thing goes offline.
I mean, they are mostly wood there.
Yeah, that's true. It's just more of like a. I always picture more like a construct thing rather than like a tree. But it's also Rumble is the thing I picture now when I think of a Konrasu rather than like these pictures.
Yeah, I forget what I exactly had you do. It's another monster in the book, though.
Yeah, I forget what the base form is, but it is like it was like a tree man, like an ent, and then you grabbed the orb, and it was the orb from that first image. And you're like, can you put this on this? And I was like, it's fucking easy, bro.
I think it was an arboreal warden. Yeah, it's arboreal warden.
Well, now that the meal's done, shall we get going?
Yes, let's go meet this Greg.
Not gonna lie, I'm so used to Rumble's picture now, this doesn't look right.
This looks fucked up and wrong.
Yeah.
It does.
Get it out of here. Delete it.
Never use this
Fix
image,
it.
Cam. Never use this as an enemy. This is perverse.
I'll
I
just
mean, it's
Yeah.
level 4. We are not fighting these things.
You know what it is? That's you. And then my guy's the rumble that they tell you not to worry about.
It's also just like the face is too small now after seeing the orb. Like I don't like this.
I can summon this in the Sunday game eventually.
That would be a lot of fun for it to just start wrecking shit.
Yeah, level 20, you gain the ability to summon Rumble.
Just summon a Konrasu from the Mohangi.
I mean, yeah, I think at level for where you guys currently are, level 19, you could summon Rumble.
My god, it has attack of opportunity and shield block. Holy shit. It also takes 5 additional damage specifically from axes.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of tree things have weakness to axe.
Amazing.
Alrighty.
Alright, it pays for the meal.
Alright. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna.
Free food?
We dine and dash. Let's go.
Why would I put a monetary cost on you guys having an RP moment? That sounds like a very bad idea.
Fair.
Maybe you want to be accurate. I don't
Is
know.
this? Yeah, I'm no longer immersed, Cam. What the fuck?
I feel like we're not paying for everything. I want to know of the economy of this place. I want to know
Yeah.
the financial burden we're putting on this place. What are the wages of this cafe?
I
Is there
mean, I
tipping
could
culture
tell
in
you.
Absalom?
I
Oh,
can
yeah,
tell
probably
you.
could. Probably in the
There
books
are
somewhere.
rules for it.
Is
I'm not
tipping
surprised.
customary in this part of the world?
That's a good
No,
question.
tipping is not customary in
customary?
most places.
I literally asked that, guys. Come on, what the fuck?
Is
Fuck you,
tipping
Connor.
customary in this part of the world?
How much
Fuck
percent
this.
tip should we do?
I-
20?
How good was the waiter, Cam?
Were
Did
they
they get
nice?
us water like right away, or did they wait like a little too late?
Did they
Can you roll for
smile when they
waiter?
talked to us, or were they like clearly annoyed that we were there?
What kind of
Can you
tipper
roll for
is
waiter?
William?
William is an exact 15%er.
I think Sprite is a 19%er because he does want people to get paid a decent amount, but also he likes that sort of like just under what everyone would like.
Sprite's not a tipper because it doesn't have money.
Yeah, but he writes it
Yeah.
on the check and then has someone else pay for it.
I'm surprised
Oh.
that Sprite even tips. I
Yeah,
thought you'd
He
be like,
writes it
"Eh."
on the check and then has someone else pay for it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
No, where it says tip, you just write something helpful.
Do not stick your toes in holes you find in hives.
Whoa.
It will end poorly.
Angry face.
Do not ask how I know.
To be fair, a 19% tip from what Sprite eats would be so little because you would eat like a nibble of something.
Yeah,
No,
it's
we've
a
been
You
over
penny.
this.
you get full on the free bread.
No, we've been
That-
over this. He
that's
has the
why
Monkey D.
I-
Luffy stomach.
That's why I tip 19% because 20% would be enough to round up to a full penny. So I can tip 19% and they can't be mad at me because I tipped a good amount, but also I don't have to pay anything.
Anyway, so you guys head off to Shoreline. It's getting a little bit later than day, and as you guys arrive, the sun is starting to set. Everything is cast in a nice orangey hue. As Sylvanas, you go up to whose house?
My mom's.
All right, you go to.
Now, do you remember what your mother does for a living?
Ah, that's great because I don't.
I can't believe you don't even remember your own backstory.
Did you write
It's
it
because
out?
I think, well, Slug, when we were making our characters, had me come up with everything and then barely read any of it.
You wrote this down?
I sent it to Cam, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you both wrote some stuff up for your characters.
No, I
usually
wrote
do,
both
I
of
don't
them.
Remember, I don't remember writing anything out for this. Gonna be honest.
I think
Anyway,
I wrote
I
out
also
our
know what your
shared
mom
backstory
does.
and then mine. Yeah, you know what she does because I just said it again.
Yep. But I know.
She
Oh,
also
there it
lives
is.
there because that's where it's attached to her place of business.
Oh, you didn't say that.
I said it in the backstory I wrote out.
Did you?
I can't believe you can't remember a backstory I sent you 2 years ago.
When did we start Riptide? That's actually a very good question. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But anyway,
What's
as you arrive at your mother's house, you stop just short as you don't recognize the building. Now, this one does have a mill attached to it and what appears to be a bakery, which is something you're familiar with. But the building itself is wholly different, bigger and more lavished.
Huh. This is the right place, but it looks different. That's supposed to be there, pointing towards the mill and bakery. Gestures vaguely towards everything else. That's different. Honestly, they might have gotten together. And just Greg invested the money into the house. Guess we won't know unless we find out. I take off my mask of the Banshee so that I'm not obscuring half my face from my mom.
Scare your mom. Do it.
No.
Oh yeah, and so some fun facts. First episode was December 28th, 2021.
Holy
So-
shit.
Damn.
Whoa.
Jesus. So
I was right.
Almost at the
2
2.5
years ago.
year mark. Also, our first video has 506 views.
Whoa.
Oh.
Which is a lot for a live stream. A lot of people were very interested where y'all came from, apparently, because every episode after that has like maybe 60 views on average.
Crazy.
But yeah, so you head inside.
I knock on the door. I'll just barge in.
Okay. It's a little strange because it is a bakery. But after some time, the door is opened and you find your mother. Go ahead and describe your mother for everyone, because we did technically meet her, but that was kind of like time skipped information between the first and second season.
Oh god, I never thought of a physical description for it. I'm so bad at this. She looks a lot like Sylvanas does, but she's a bit taller. Has just black hair instead of the black red that Sylvanas has. She's wearing I assume she's wearing a really messy apron right now. She hasn't always been the cleanest baker. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's all.
Okay. She looks at you and her eyes well up with tears as she gives you a forceful hug. Sylvanas, it's been so long. I haven't heard anything from you in almost a year.
I hug her back. I know, I'm sorry. There's been a lot that
You have
I've gone
no
through.
idea how worried I've been, especially after we received that package from Mr. Willowgift.
Yeah, that's something to talk about as well. Preferably not in the entryway, but
Oh, yeah, no, sure. Have all your friends come inside. We're already close for the day anyway.
I look towards everyone and wave them in.
Thank you for letting us in.
Of course. The interior is much different than what you used to remember. What used to be a very humble, kind of over-the-counter style bakery has now turned into a kind of bakery slash cafe in a sense. There's like some small tables and chairs that people can sit at to have various items and confections. The production has grown quite a lot. Past the employee only door, quote unquote, is a much more homey interior. with a very nice, well-decorated living room and a waiting room, and then stairs that kind of go up and above to the bedrooms above.
Looks more lavish than I remember. Is this because of Greg?
Yeah. Greg is she gets a bit of a somber appearance to her after what happened with your first journey. He helped provide a lot for the house, and he's helped us in a lot of ways.
That's good. Is he around? Love to talk to both of you at the same time.
He's been gone for quite a while. You can probably find him at the cemetery. Things were very hard for him after you left.
Sylvanas just like deflates. Just... I'm sorry, what?
Well, he didn't really know what to do with himself after everything had gone, so he resumed fishing with a good friend of his. And, well, ever since the accident. She purses her lips a bit, not knowing whether she should go on or not.
I throw my arms around her. As I start tearing up, I'm sorry.
Well,
I didn't realize you were going to be alone again. I didn't mean to leave you.
oh, it's okay, dear. And to be fair, I have the workers most of the time anyway, and I mean, well, just when Greg comes back, please be a little kind to him.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, his friend died on a shipping accident. He's been taking it quite hard.
Mom,
Yes?
I thought Greg died.
Oh no. He's just been a little depressed lately. And it's, something that he likes to keep to himself, so I just didn't know how much I should tell you.
Wiping the tears from my eyes. That was quite the misunderstanding.
Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. It's so hard for me seeing Greg like this. And to be fair, he still lives on his own. I only see him when he stops by on the odd occasion.
That's fair.
You can blame Buddha. That was his idea, by the way.
Fuck
Yeah,
you.
I was
there's
loving every minute of it.
The immediate way I was hearing Cam slightly dodge the saying he passed or he died, it was immediately okay. Booter put in here trick Slug into thinking Greg died.
I think I did it quite well.
You did it
honestly.
quite
It
well.
was
I
good.
was
Yeah.
catching on, but like I was I was like catching on, but I was like, this is very good. That was well hidden.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was weird, like the verbiage of it, but I just thought that's the way you're
Like,
playing my mom.
Like she's being kind about it, trying to like, oh, I don't want to like hurt you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
well done. It's well delivered. That's just like, but also like, oh no, I didn't mean that. My like, lady, you buried that lead. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think it was very clear what she was trying to say.
Yeah, because you're in on it. You're the mastermind.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, here's the line I got from Booter. Greg is also alive and well, but his good fishing friend James Hanley recently passed away, so that her mom can be very cryptically misleading about whether Greg is alive or not, because he is at the cemetery a lot.
Good shit.
That got me good, I won't lie.
That was really funny.
Just wait till you hear the next thing I sent Cam, which is the cops knocking on the door to tell you that Greg's body was just found.
He's just passed out drunk, though.
I can't wait for 5 Greg death fake outs.
Gets more and more
But we get
elaborate
there and
every
he's died
time.
We get there and he's died from alcohol poisoning.
Oh my god, Greg is dead! Dead, tired from his fishing trip.
Then you
Sounds like
finally see him,
sounds
and
like
it,
a Family Guy bit.
you finally see him, and he's so happy to see everyone. Everyone's having a good time, and then he gets just a stabbing in the middle of the street, and he's actually dead.
But we're all like, oh Greg.
Come
Just
on, you
win.
planned this out for us.
Bleeding out.
Wow, that's a lot of ketchup.
Call someone, please.
Come
I
on,
need a
Greg, get
doctor.
up.
I'm sorry, the other ones were all a bunch of jokes. You need to help me.
I'm dying.
Craig is such a jokester.
Man, Fidget should not be here then.
Yeah, Fidget can be like, oh, don't worry, sir. Full health. I cured your death. Even if he
Only to
passed away, the
reveal-
light left his eyes, she'd just be like, oh, sorry. Breath of life, he's back.
Only to reveal that he actually was joking the whole time.
You know, that would be the perfect time for this spell.
No.
It says living or dead.
I can't believe this.
He would just get struck by lightning and healed.
That's so cool.
Anyway, I'll let Booter decide when Greg will show up. Because you're just going to play Greg.
Right as this happens, what's this? The door opens, and you see a Greg there in his casual cargo shorts, collared t-shirt with a fishing vest on, the puffy one. He's carrying a little ice chest and fishing rod and like a few rags and buckets and stuff, whatnot.
In a split second, I clear the room and I am hugging him.
Oh,
Do you
I
hit him with enough force to knock him over?
probably. He's only like level 5 or something, right?
Well, and also Sylvanas is moving insanely fast nowadays. It's kind of like the boy situation where Sylvanas just goes through him. He just explodes into mist.
Now he's
I
really
killed
dead.
Greg.
He's
No more
grappled.
takeouts from you.
I've had enough of your shit, Greg.
Only to reveal Greg saw this coming from a mile away and he hired a stand-in just for this.
Poor guy. It's like, man, I don't think that would happen. Sheesh.
Does he have a twin?
Yes.
No. He's an only child, as far as he knows. He is also an orphan, so...
That's why I know he has a twin. He also lives in Absalom. I've accidentally interacted with him a couple times.
I mean, I would assume. Is that an athletics check to see if you control yourself well or if you go way overboard?
Way overboard. I tackle Greg to the ground accidentally.
I'm pretty sure that beats his fortitude DC.
Yeah, for sure.
Roll d6.
And no.
You should be able to survive a D6.
I'm not doing it.
Except that he just got
Okay,
out of
thank
a
God.
fight and only had 1 HP left.
Who's
It was
new
intense.
actor? Oh, it's Slug.
Yeah.
Greg
You
gets...
know that token in the bottom right, Cam?
Oh,
Oh no.
new actor 2.
Where's the first? Greg gets laid out on the floor. All of his stuff goes flying. The couple fish he caught today are just out of the ice chest now.
Wasn't he just at the cemetery?
He stops by the cemetery every day after fishing.
Ah, I see.
He's retired now. He doesn't have much to do and he has so much money. He's used a lot of that money to start up like a fishing business and he has a lot of passive income now. Which is just adding even more money. Yeah, he's so breath is knocked out of him and he cannot breathe for a moment. He's like, oh, Sylvanas?
Hi. Sorry. I missed you, and my mom cryptically explained something to me and made me think that you were dead.
Why would I be dead? I have at least... I immediately think of a number in my head and then very quickly push that down in my consciousness and say, 50 years left.
Man.
He's older. I don't know. What's the average lifespan of humans in this world?
I think it's 60.
What's the average
Or
lifespan
no,
of a
I think it's
human?
like 70.
That's what I thought. He's like late 40s.
Yeah, 50 years is a lot.
I know, but he's in denial about how much time he has left.
Yeah, midlife crisis, Cam.
True.
He doesn't like acknowledging the real numbers.
Actually, they have a better lifespan than we do nowadays. What the fuck? Typical human can live to be around 90 years old.
Yeah.
It's all these immortals skewing the numbers.
Yeah,
True. 99% of humans live to be like 60, and then there's one every generation who becomes a god.
Damn wizard skewing the results.
I
William
will.
just kind of like looks away for some reason.
I will weakly pat Sylvanas on the back as I'm sure she's like pinning my arms to my side.
Oh. Stand up, offer you a hand to help you up.
All right. I quickly shovel the fish back into the ice chest to make sure they stay fresh for dinner. As I like stand up, I sort of look you up and down and sort of just sort of like checking out your new digs. I nod very approvingly. You seem
Savant?
much stronger than when I left you last.
She also looks more weathered, I guess is the right word.
She's vastly grown in maturity since the last time you've seen her. Eyes much more world worn.
Yeah.
Greg is a little sad but bittersweet to see the little girl growing up. All
Actually,
right. Oh,
yeah, it has been a while. What I'm wearing points towards, forget's name. Her Imperial Golden Dragon robes. This crazy story. So I should probably tell you that over dinner.
I sort of look around at the gang and smile at the few of them that I know. And I say, Fidget, Everett, it's been too long.
I'd give you a hug. It's good to see you, Greg. I'd give you a hug, but I don't want to bruise you.
It's all right. I'll give you one. And I lean down and hearty hug there.
Everett will join this hug.
Group hug.
Yes.
Sprite, get over here.
Okay. Sprite just sort of snuggles it into the center of the pile.
Yes,
Doesn't know this
suffer.
person at all.
This is Sprite, this is William, and this is Rumble.
Hello.
It's good to meet you.
What's my name? Greg like laughs at Sprite, and as I let go of the hug, I sort of grab him as if I'm holding a child, and I sort of say, I look to between Sprite and William and Rumble and say, "It's a pleasure to meet you all. You're the new traveling companions, I suppose."
Yeah, I believe that's a good way of describing it. For the time being, we are traveling together. Met on the road and also from Absalom, at least in my case.
Well, everyone, come in. We'll make a bigger dinner than planned. I look in the ice chest and think I might not have enough fish. I'm catching them very casually nowadays.
If you need more ingredients, I can always run to a nearby stall if they're still open.
I look at Sylvanas' mother and sort of like, do you think we have enough?
I can always whip something up. I mean, we always have bread. That's her catchphrase.
I look to the gang and say, I truly believe there's nothing better in this world than a fish soup with bread to soak up the juices.
To be fair,
Let's get
that
in
is
there.
really good.
It is.
It is.
Rumble just kind of like leans into William and whispers, "Shouldn't we be telling them we just ate?"
That would be rude, because they're
this was,
clearly
like, hours
very
ago.
excited.
Yeah, we walked like math, like 3 extra miles to get here.
So yeah, it would have been. This would
Midday.
probably be around dinner time.
Yeah, we've been like midday, and then sun's setting right about now.
And we still gotta cook. It'll take a bit.
Yeah.
Can I gauge the amount of fish in the ice chest? See if that's gonna be enough for us.
It's like 5 and no.
I'll be back.
Wait, Fidget, I'll
What?
come with you.
Alrighty. Do you want anything else from the stalls while we're out?
I look to the mother again.
Wow, you don't even know her
Doesn't
name.
the mother have a name?
What's
Yeah.
your mother's name?
Fonra.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, Fonra.
Miss Bonner, do you need
That is the
anything
actual
from her?
name I have written down.
Well, if you could go, she quickly scribbles down like a list of spices and some vegetables, and grab these. We'll add them to the soup.
Okay. And what type of fish are those again?
I open the ice chest and very enthusiastically start explaining what they are. Happy to have someone interested in my fish. They're
Okay,
all different fish.
I'll try to get similar.
All right, you never
Well-
head out.
I will lead everyone inside to talk more about everything. And then make some fish stew. And as I'm going in, I pick up my fishing rod from the side after it got thrown out of my hands, and I see that it's bent a little, and on one hand, I'm very rich and it doesn't matter to me. I can just buy a new rod. But on the other hand, I'm a fishing connoisseur and hate to see a good rod wasted. But it's fine.
Oh, fuck, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It was only the last parting gift from, my mentor fishing instructor, but it's not necessary now. And I sort of just deconstruct it and I go, yeah, I'm just kidding. It's just a normal rod.
Jesus, Greg. Oh. Actually, speaking of gifts, I go into my spacious pouch and I pull out a preserved megalodon eye.
Oh,
10 points of experience for remembering what it's called.
It's right here in my inventory.
I always forget it's called Spacious Pouch. Take the
Oh.
XP.
Oh, spacious pouch. Yay.
I just said bag of holding earlier this session.
You did. It was
And
an
I was
achievement.
right.
We killed this. Well,
God,
after
you
left.
remembering the name of that item surely put me off guard.
We killed this after you left and thought you might want it. Well, killed a megalodon. This is one of its eyes. I stabbed the other one out.
I do have to ask, how big is a megalodon eye?
Probably the size of like a beach volleyball.
Man, and we were just wearing these things for a while?
No, you got the teeth.
Well, that's what I meant. If these teeth are the size of volleyballs, because we made them in the necklaces.
This is an eye.
Oh, the eye itself. Okay.
The teeth are still pretty big, though. I mean, they're about the size of a dinner plate.
And we wore them as necklaces?
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's a mini chest plate at that point.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to figure for people to just give me a measurement when I look up how big is a megalodon's eye?
I know, they give you the fucking teeth size, but never
Yeah.
fucking eye size.
Because the eyes aren't preserved.
It
I
may
don't
have
care.
been. It may have had a pig-eyed appearance in that it had small, deep-set eyes. So smaller than you would expect, I bet, but still very big because it is 46 to 50 feet or whatever that I just read. 47 to 67 feet.
Okay, I have a picture that should be a good indicator. There you go.
Megalodon teeth were 7 inches long. Compare that Like-
Ugh.
human teeth.
So definitely
sure.
not a beach volleyball. More like a softball.
Is this a real reconstruction of Megalodon eye?
No, this is a whale eye.
Man, whales are losers.
You're a
Can't even
loser.
see anything. Loudest animal on the planet, though.
What did whales do to you?
Next to your mom.
Oh.
I was piecing together something in my head, and I and people kept talking directly to me, and it kept throwing off my train of thought.
You're welcome, Kim. Team effort.
Woo.
Oh yeah. Anyway, Greg takes the eye, and he's very interested in it. And he's like showing it off with Fonra over here, and then he has like a little flash of inspiration, and his eyes light up, and he suddenly whispers, just like staring into the eyeball. He just whispers to himself, "The greatest prey,"
The biggest fish.
and looks out over into the ocean.
You good?
Huh? Yeah, I'm all right. I hand it off to your mother. Anyway, and I like clap my hands. So many stories to be told. What have you been up to since I last saw you? And
Well,
I make like a I give you a look that's like your mother's in the room. Keep the details PG.
Well, I really got into this one prostitute house.
I may be praying to a less than
Yeah.
savory god now.
so yeah, the Shackles was like the adventure immediately after the first one, right? It was like right
Yes.
after Greg.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, after you left, we ended up going to the Shackles because there was more disturbances. That was where the Megalodon happened. I had a dude by the name of Brandbaster who was alchemically enhancing people, trying to jumpstart evolution. I think it was. It was weird. It was really tough. We ended up having to escape. But one of the people at our party at the time was experimented on, seemed to like the changes, and then just left. Adrian was weird. But also during that time, we nearly died like twice. One to a ghost pirate, as I'm like not looking Greg in the eye as I after that look he gave me. And didn't look good for a second there. And I really didn't want to die. So I offered myself up to any god that was listening. The god answered, so now I'm in service to Callistra because I'm alive because of her. So as I pull out my rapier and do the little, actually no, it's not triggered, so I can't actually activate my, what you call it, liberating step. But there was that, and then the ship was attacked and exploded in one move by demonic-looking Strix, which is probably why you got the gift from Villa Gift. So ended up surviving and building a boat on an island for a couple weeks there before traveling out. That was crazy.
When you're starting to get into dangerous stuff, Greg's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time with your mother after this one." But then he just sort of accepts it at a certain point and is getting into the story. He's asking a lot of questions. It's like, Strix, is it any relation to the friend that we traveled with?
Kilo.
Same. Kilo.
Kilo.
Same race, but as far as I know, no relation. I don't mention House of Perfection at that stage, but I do. Let's see, what happened after Shackles? I'm honestly forgetting that part. Because we were.
We traveled through the Mwangi.
Right, went through the Mwangi, tell them about that.
There's the island with the dragon on it.
The haunted
True.
island.
Tell them about the first killing of the dragon, but I steer away from the second one. Tell them about both trips underwater. Oh, yeah, if I tell them about the first dragon, tell them about both trips underwater. And then I recall the House of Perfection, just that we helped defended, and it's where I got these robes from. And, the whole, mass battle thing. But I try not to tell him too much about, the other plane shit. Just that we just happened to be in the area and it was attacked. It's been a lot.
All right. Once it gets further into the story, I'm checking heavily on Faunra's state, sort of playing defense here with that.
She seems focused on the task she's doing right now. I think she's in a point of processing. She probably knew at first glance of seeing Sylvanas that Sylvanas had gone through some trials and tribulations. And hearing all the stories now is just a lot, but she's not acting on any of her thoughts at the very least. And at the end of the day, she and Greg had a very, very heated discussion after Willowgift had sent money to them, because at the time, at least, he thought that Sylvanas had passed when they went missing for 3 months after their ship got blown up.
Yeah, Greg almost went after Sylvanas, but he didn't in the end.
Crazy.
Yeah, Greg, is sort of seeing all of that going on and is like, all right, I will help with that later when it comes up. And then I'm sort of like, all right, let's lower the mood. And I look at everyone who's here and think about all the cool journeys, and I sort of stand up like, you must have gotten a lot stronger in this bit of time here, haven't you?
Yeah.
What do you say we? And then I very quickly remember all the stories and being tackled and think maybe it's not a good idea to request a duel or a spar. So I'm like, what? How about you show off all your cool new tricks now?
Well, while all this is happening, is anything happening? Well, I guess Alicia just said that they are... Oh, no, they're back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, we went shopping and then came back.
Okay. Nothing happened?
Ever paid.
Ever paid.
Yes.
It's because
Rich boy.
Sprite's not here to ask for money.
True, but Everett's not rich. His family is.
Well, any conversations y'all might have while you're out?
So, what's up with your family?
You,
I
you
can go
see
pick
him
them up
yell.
if you want.
All right. Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Could you repeat it?
Fidget offers to go beat up your family for you.
No. It's you just see him like get really uncomfortable and he has the tightness in his chest. Oh,
Talk to me. What's going on?
uh. All right. Please don't think of me differently after this. And you just see the guilt and shame in his eyes.
Why would I treat you any differently? I haven't treated you any differently up until now.
I know, but I really fucked up.
Okay.
But my dad, he's an admiral of the Navy, and he expects all of us to be strong and able to fight, and he had really high expectations for us. And I kept failing. And one day, we were fighting, and he told me how he really felt about me, about my skills. And I don't know why, but I just felt so much anger because I tried so hard. No matter what I did, I just kept failing him. And I hit him with the sword, and I hurt him really bad. And I ran away. I swear I'm not an angry person. I just didn't know what came over me. And you just see tears starting to come up. He hasn't told anyone this in a really long time.
Did you want to find closure by talking to them? See if they've changed?
We could, but I don't know.
If you want, we can go just you and I, or if you want, you and Rumble. And if they do anything offensive, we'll knock them out and then we'll leave.
Okay.
You are not at fault for that. No one should put their kid through such high expectations. Everyone has their own skills and gifts. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. At least for you, you had parents growing up. I had no mother, and my father was always traveling, leaving me behind. But I think you turned out fine. Don't sell yourself short, just because you made a mistake.
You see a little glimmer in his eyes, and that meant a lot to him.
I meant what I said when the Green Man asked. I'll be the mom for everyone else.
Thank you, Fidget.
Of course. Now we better get home before this, or back to the house before this fish starts to smell.
Okay. I'm sorry you had no mother, though. But
Life of having a hag for a mom. They're not
What?
exactly interested in raising children. Oh yeah, I never told you. Yeah, my dad got lucky with a hag. And then she dropped me at his doorstep and wasn't seen again.
He feels bad for you, and you see in his eyes, and then he says, "She shouldn't have dropped you on the porch. You're a pretty amazing person. I hope you know that, Fidget."
Thank you. But thankfully, I'm not too heartbroken over it. If you do any research into hags as parents, it's actually better she left me with my dad. I could easily become a monster if she had kept me.
I would never normally say this, but I'm glad she did.
Everyone's situation is different. Some of us are just lucky to have family. Some of us are lucky that we don't. That's okay. Thankfully, I was able to make a living, even though I was constantly being kidnapped for ships, but it worked out.
Kidnapped?
Oh, yeah. And there's a lot of things I never mentioned to you. Well, I was often press ganged because I was never paying attention to my surroundings, so I would constantly be knocked out and wake up on a ship for labor. That's how I made a living. I was still paid for it, even if it wasn't my choice to work on the ship itself.
Oh.
It's okay. Everyone's situation's different, and I think I turned out okay.
You turned out good for what happened to you.
And so did you. Now, if only we can get things to stop trying to pick you up and take you away.
Yes. And then he chuckles.
Thankfully, there shouldn't be any skull peelers in Absalom.
I hope not. He just looks around.
The paranoia there's a skull peeler hiding on a building.
Or Helldusk armor.
As long as you don't put it on, you should be fine.
Yes.
Anyway, you're fine, just remember that. And if all else fails, sometimes found family is better than birth family.
Yeah. And he just smiles.
She pats him on the back and proceeds down the road.
Thank you, Fidget.
She smiles.
Okay. And that's where we'll end it for today. Many reunions, familiar places, and a very confused stable hand.
Poor confused elephant.
Yeah. Elephant just got abandoned. I feel bad for the elephant.
I'll probably remember to find it.
The elephant will forget. It's an animal.
True, you know what they say, elephants always forget.
They do say that.
True.
Oh, yeah.
I forget where I heard it though.
Alright, I was
Are you
gonna do some
looking?
XP.
Yay, experience.
So, 30 XP for being here today. Character interpretation, some good character moments. I'll definitely give y'all another 30 points. Why not? Good ideas or plans? None particularly. Difficult actions.
I'd argue it was a really good idea to psych out Slug with Greg's death.
That was a good point.
I'll take the XP for that then.
Yes.
Good idea to house the elephant before we went anywhere?
That's just normal
Housing is
living in
putting it
life.
very differently.
I mean, to be fair, our travel would have been very much hindered if we just walked around with the elephant.
Does it have a place to live now? Yes, it has a house.
Is it a good idea if that's just what you would have to do if you were to operate in normal society?
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
I
No,
play
Sprite.
Sprite.
XP
no extra XP.
I play Sprite. It is not a given that I would operate within the bounds of a normal society.
No combat. We just had an interesting encounter instead. Player awards. I don't even think we used actual persuasion.
No.
No.
I double checked a deception DC for a feat. That was
Yeah.
even then for like trying to talk to the stable guy. The only deception I was used was saying it is a horse, but you didn't make a check. You just
You just said it's
lied.
a horse and then left as
you
quickly
just
as
lied
possible.
you lied with your words, not with your dice.
It's true.
Well, there was no attempt to convince this individual was actually not a horse. Just shouting it at them as they ran away.
I did my best.
You know, the funny thing is if you had rolled, there's no way these people could
Yeah.
really beat the DCs you guys would set up.
Damn, that's a weird looking horse as they like scratch their head looking at an elephant.
I mean, these guys have probably never seen an elephant before. What do they know?
There's literal elephants in the art
You
for
guys
the
have
area
probably
they
never
live in.
seen an elephant before. What do they know?
I'll give a pity award to Rumble. Didn't seem like there was too much for Rumble to do, unfortunately. Kind of the only character who's just really not from the region, so...
I'm not from the region.
I guess there's Sprite, but Sprite doesn't count.
Yeah, you had
Sprite
Greg to play.
immediately got replaced.
Now Booter has to play the rest of the game as Greg.
We just
What
don't
level did we
acknowledge
leave
Sprite
Greg
being
at?
here. 5, I think.
Yeah, let's take a level 5 through some end game content.
Yeah, I'll level up quickly.
Wait, was Greg a previous character you played?
That
Yeah.
was his first character in this game.
Wow, I
Yeah.
can't believe your previous character went home and fucked your mom.
They're platonic.
Ah, damn.
Platonic. Air quotes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be on it legit. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucked, but like, if they haven't, they haven't. I guess.
My headcanon is Fauna's just getting cucked by Greg this entire time. She's been wanting it, and he's just like, oh no, I gotta respect Sylvanas.
I think Sylvanas wants it.
I want them to be happy.
I don't know. It might just not be a conversation that came up.
You're the one in control of it. What do you mean you don't know?
All
I
right,
mean,
player
what do you know?
nominations and our kudos, I think, is going to be our big breadwinner for the session. I think there's a lot of good moments.
I
go ahead
took
and give
damage.
one.
I took 1 damage, actually,
From what?
from being tackled.
Greg did.
Greg gets 10 XP, and I will not
Okay.
be shorted it.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and nominate the stupid elephant thing. Just
This
is
elephant
super
proposal.
Yes.
funny. The
Paying a guy to get rid of your elephant.
paying someone to get rid of your elephant in a very roundabout way when you could have just sold your elephant.
That's so boring, though.
True, yeah, fair. I can't say this wasn't more entertaining. So, you know, take 10 XP.
Plus, it wasn't my money.
It wasn't your money. You know what? Secondary pity award for I'll give a couple pities. I'll give one to Fidget for paying for Sprite shenanigans. And I'll give
Fidget
another one
paid
to
after the
Everett.
shenanigans, too.
I'll give another one for Everett for sad backstory time.
Yeah,
I'll give
do it on
another
that.
one to Sylvanas for getting duped by your mother thinking Greg was dead.
Yeah,
Almost sad
gotta-
backstory.
gotta give props to you, Alicia, for that backstory. Damn, that's just fucking rough.
Yeah.
And like, I can understand the absolute weight behind that, especially in that delivery.
Yeah,
That's some good
true.
shit.
Go take an extra 10 XP for your excellent emotion-filled story.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Why wouldn't you thank Alicia? I think Alicia deserves some thanks.
I did.
You said no thank you.
There was a comma there.
Mm,
I didn't hear the comma.
Why? My
Alicia,
problem.
your verdict?
I heard the comma. Don't worry, Cam. I got you.
Alicia's a simp for friendship.
Oh. He got me.
Any other player nominations and our kudos?
Sylvanas got so excited that she tackled down her uncle. That was so cute.
That's true. Sylvanas had some very good emotional moments as well. Go ahead and take a player award.
Yippee.
I did really like Williams, like talking with what was his name, Jack Thomas.
Yep.
Fucking, I gotta be real. The beginning of that was also me out of game being like, "Is this a fucking Dagon encounter?"
Oh!
You know what? That's fair. Gotta take a player award because I did enjoy the moment overall, but you know that never even occurred to me that might be what you would think.
Because
And
like
now
I've
it's
had
canon.
Dagon encounters, and the setup to that felt like a Dagon encounter. And then like the moment you described his appearance, I was like, this doesn't feel like that.
Dagon learned skin mask.
But also like it was fun in that moment of, I think this is the only time playing William he has been like actually angry at a person. Only because he is sheerly uncomfortable just being thrown off his game in like the conversational like power gambit. And so like there's a person who had a momentary like power over him, and then he did not like it. He did not like this person who was like, I'm pranking you. He's like, fuck you.
It's like not enough to actually fight them, but you don't want to be around them.
But also he's charming, but also fuck this guy.
He brings it back every time.
That's the thing that William is dealing with. It's a person where he's like, you have a lot of behavior that I find deeply annoying, but also you have other like personality quirks where I think you're interesting. God, the nerd dilemma.
Yeah.
But this is a character I definitely will interact with in the future. I think this is a very interesting character. I want to talk to him more.
It was a high level encounter you guys rolled, so I made a very interesting encounter.
It was an awesome encounter.
Can we beat him if we fight him?
Maybe.
Why don't you fight him and find out?
Maybe I will.
I mean, you
Yeah,
know
get
where he
him there.
lives.
Send Greg over there. He'll handle it.
I also loved how casual Fidget was about the bad things that happened to her.
You know, that's true. Fidget coming out here being like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. You know I had a way worse childhood, though. But,
That's a
no
person-
big deal.
That's a person that's processed all the shit that's happened and is like found a healthy point.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and
That's
take
a
a
person.
player award
That's
there,
just
Fidget.
the difference of like, I've worked past a lot of this and now I can help others.
It was never her intention to make him feel worse about her situation. She's just like, oh, everyone's been through bad things.
No,
Not
you
realizing she's making the situation worse.
he just
Everyone's
felt
been
bad
through
for
bad
you.
things. You're not special.
All right, enough with the pity party.
Yeah, kudos to Booter. We involved your character in a scene with Greg.
Yes.
Can't wait for the long heart-to-heart that Greg and Sprite are
Sprite
gonna
will have together.
Yeah.
Listen, Sprite. I'm trusting Sylvanas in your hands. You have to promise me you'll do everything in your power to keep her safe. And Sprite just lying through his teeth as he has his fingers crossed behind his back.
What do you mean you can get a promise there?
You could.
Get your Fey deal going.
True. I can't wait for us to leave Absalom only for Sylvanas to find out that Greg is now bound to a Fey.
And that Fae owes me a favor. Unbind him. That's my favor.
Favor?
Yeah.
Alicia
Who's
loses an
so good
XP.
Aw, I mean, that was Slug's joke. What are you talking about?
It's true. I'm the one that made it.
Yeah, that's why you didn't. Someone laughed, so you didn't lose it. Alicia gets it for explaining the joke.
Oh.
No, we should.
I found a loophole.
Damn it. Fucking Fae, man.
I also hope you guys liked that story of the small village that learned how to just make cake and died because that's all they knew how to do.
It makes sense.
I thought you were messing with Alex 100%. And I was dying.
I mean, I immediately was like, yeah, I can see how that'd be like a fun spell to give like a small town, and then immediately was like, oh yeah, and I also immediately see the downsides to that. Yeah, that would collapse like a village, either like health wise, economically, that would destroy it. And then also my mind immediately went to like in the nutrition, because I've been just watching Delicious in Dungeon. And
Yeah.
so all I have is Senshi in my head being like, malnutrition.
Dungeon Meshi is so good.
It's really fun. I'm
It's really
having a
good.
great time with it.
And also set up the next arc that we have, which is William's arc, where we have to go visit those people from the village hunt us down because of this stupid wizard who knows all their stuff, and we find out that they ended up eating so much magical cake they turned into cake people.
I would leave the campaign.
Bold of you to assume you can leave.
I
The
would
cake
just,
has already blocked the door.
I would just be sick for every session of the stealth cake arc.
And that's where the problem lies. You never know when a cake person will show
What?
up.
You're not ready for the whole Cake Island arc?
Plus that struck me as a very Fae spell. The Fae is just like, yeah, just have cake. I don't see what the problem is.
I eat cake literally every meal every day.
True.
So,
True. That's why you turned yellow. You're actually a peep.
it's true. Nobody cut into me. Alex will faint.
Peeps aren't cake, they're marshmallows.
It's close enough.
And apparently it's really hard to eat 100 of them in one go.
It's really hard to eat one of them in one go.
I love peeps.
They're fine. They're fine candies.
Anyway, before
They're
I'm further insulted, any other player nominations and our kudos? Okay. Well, that's going to be it for us. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have now set foot on the island. You have potentially some backstory stuff to get into. Potentially an interesting wizard to meet up. And of course, an entire cult to deal with. So, we'll see how the next, handful of sessions go. I'm very interested to see what will happen now that we've all kind of come back full circle in the campaign, back to where it all started. But with that, we're going to go ahead and say goodnight.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.